some love, give it all. His breath really said it all. His car was parked behind the back door. Tuxedo black, El Camino, 1969. Well, he said, give me some more love, give me some love, give it all. His filthy fingers said it all. Yeah. Give something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
We have been away for a while, and we have been focusing still behind the scenes on all of the different issues that we've been facing around the country, not only as Black people, but people of good faith. Let's discuss that and so many other stories and news and politics that we will be covering throughout today. We begin with On the Clock with Georgia Ford.
You know, we have all been following the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse, who killed 2 protesters and injured another in Kenosha, Wisconsin, after Jacob Blake was shot by police. And yesterday, we're hearing that the prosecution really had a turn of events. A key witness took the stand. That key witness happened to be the individual who survived the shooting of Kyle Rittenhouse. And his testimony definitely was not in the favor of prosecution, because what is at stake here, what is being tried, is whether or not Rittenhouse actually acted in self-defense. And so the testimony from the only surviving victim might have played into this defense that Rittenhouse has been standing on, that he was acting in self-defense. What this key witness said was that he actually had a gun pointed at Rittenhouse first. And so many people on the jury may take this as him acting aggressively or giving Rittenhouse a reason to shoot first. I want you guys to take a listen to some of the testimony from yesterday.
Gage Grosskreutz was the only one of Rittenhouse's 3 victims who survived. Rittenhouse shot Grosskreutz in the bicep. He says he's now lost sensation in that part of his arm. While Rittenhouse's lawyers argue it was all in self-defense, Grosskreutz says his hands were raised when Rittenhouse shot him.
By re-racking the weapon, I inferred that the defendant wasn't accepting my surrender.
Did you feel that he was going to point the gun and shoot at you again?
Yes. I was never trying to kill the defendant. I was trying to preserve my own life.
But in cross-examination, Rittenhouse's lawyers tried to argue that Grosskreutz was pointing his own gun at Rittenhouse in that moment.
You'd agree your firearm is pointed at Mr. Rittenhouse?
Yes.
Okay. Once your firearm is pointed at Mr. Rittenhouse, that's when he fires his gun. Yes?
No.
Sir, look, I don't want to...
That looks like my bicep being vaporized, yes.
Okay. And it's being vaporized as you're pointing your gun directly at him. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so with your arms up in the air, he never fired, right?
Correct.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
You pulled your gun out. You began chasing or running after a man who was running away from you, correct?
That is correct.
When pressed, he said that he did not intentionally point his gun at Rittenhouse, but the defense seized. Also bringing up that Grosskreutz was suing the city and could benefit financially if Rittenhouse is convicted. So far, the prosecution has called 20 witnesses to the stand. It's possible that prosecutors could rest their case as early as tomorrow. Then it's the defense's turn, and it's possible that Rittenhouse himself could testify later this week.
So as you heard there, things did not go well during the cross-examination, at least not for the prosecution. Ben, we've been following this trial, and the thing that still just doesn't make sense to me, Ben, is that this was, at the time, a 17-year-old who came from Illinois with firearms to, quote unquote, help protect property. And so what I don't understand is, who authorizes people to come in from other states, from other cities, to help protect property? It's not like he had a friend who lived in Kenosha. It's not like his uncle's family business was in Kenosha. His grandmother didn't live there. This was a kid who simply just traveled from Illinois with firearms and kind of took matters into his own hands to be this vigilante.
Yeah, Georgia, the prosecution is going to have to start this conversation back where everything began, which is simply this. Kyle Rittenhouse instigated a situation by showing up there with a weapon in order to do exactly what happened. Right. And if the prosecution is not able to draw that connection, then, of course, in the confusion and all of the melee and all of the things that surrounded what happened in Kenosha that night, of course, it can all come out in the fog of war. There's a book called The Fog of War that discusses the types of things that happen in, quote unquote, combat. Well, why was there combat? There was combat because Kyle Rittenhouse crossed state lines with a weapon he wasn't old enough to be carrying in that state.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing I think that's concerning is in that state, there is a law for self-defense that says if you use fatal force because you are concerned that someone's going to use fatal force against you, it's justified. And so just in that one moment, out of all the days of this trial that's happened, in that one moment in cross-examination, the defense has done a pretty solid job of proving that because the only survivor had a gun pointed at Rittenhouse, that he was acting in self-defense. And so, you know, what is the reality going to be in America if Rittenhouse is excused for killing two people and injuring another when he had no business being in Kenosha, Wisconsin? What message does that send to our nation? When these things are happening, when there's a protest because someone's been shot or killed by police, right? In this case, we know Jacob Blake wasn't killed, but he was paralyzed, right? And so that community was responding to what they felt like was an injustice. And here's Rittenhouse coming in with his own agenda. He's not a part of that community. And not only is he coming in, he's coming in with guns. So what message does this send if this kid gets off on all charges?
That's right. It sends a message that you can get away with murder. You can create the scenario that murder is necessary. That's the critical point. The critical point is that this justice system has severed when it comes to whiteness and white so-called supremacy. This justice system is completely proficient at cutting off the responsibility of who created the nightmare in the first place. Who created this situation? And if Kyle Rittenhouse gets off, like you said, then that means that more of these incel, inbred, backwards bigots can go across state lines and create a scenario where they get to kill with impunity.
Yeah, well, we saw a case that it wasn't the same, but there were some similarities in Minneapolis. Kelvin Horton, who was a protester after George Floyd was murdered, was actually killed by a business owner. That business owner to this day there haven't even been charges brought up against him. Right. And so what message did that send in a state where there is not a law that allows business owners to use fatal force to protect their properties? You know, this was a man who clearly not only broke the law, but then also took somebody's life who's not being held accountable. And so I think that America's sending a message that, you know, yeah, sure, you have the First Amendment right, but if you're out there, don't be surprised if you're hunted down and killed.
That's right.
By someone who is not going to be held accountable, you know, so go out there if you want to. You know, I think these are the kinds of intimidation tactics that we continuously see formed against the movement for Black liberation.
That's right. That's exactly right. And we see it happening time and time again, Georgia. We have too many examples of how lives are just completely disregarded when it compares to property. Right. You have the right to go out and protest. Right. But if anything happens that someone doesn't like, then that person has the right to cross state lines like Kyle Rittenhouse. If something happens and property is destroyed, then your life can be taken. And that's the end of conversation. So this country is sending a very clear message. Property is as equal to the value of human life, if not greater.
Yeah. Well, Ben, I know that you have been following a story this morning as well.
Yeah, a couple of stories we're looking at. The January 6th Select Committee. They're considering some unorthodox or perhaps a blast from the past method of holding Steve Bannon and other people who are refusing to come testify. They're trying to find a way to get these people held in contempt of court directly, meaning that the sergeant of arms would be able to go and arrest these individuals. It's something from a throwback from past years. That said, I want us to take a listen to this clip, and I want us to really think about how much power these people really have, arrogance, the caucasity, to be able to look at the United States House of Representatives Select Committee and refuse to testify. And now the committee is trying to figure out how to get around that. Let's take a listen in.
January 6th committee investigating the insurrection at the Capitol issued a fresh round of subpoenas today. The committee seeking both documents and testimony from 6 people. Bill Stepien, manager of former President Trump's failed re-election campaign. Jason Miller, the former Trump senior advisor. Angela McCallum, a former executive assistant to the Trump campaign. John Eastman, a lawyer for Mr. Trump, who wrote a memo about how to challenge the 2020 results. Michael Flynn, the former national security advisor, who reportedly attended an Oval Office meeting in December to discuss seizing voting machines. And Bernie Kerik, a Trump ally who the committee says worked with Rudy Giuliani to investigate allegations of voter fraud.
I believe that the time has come for the Congress once again to enforce its own subpoenas. We used to have a process until 1930, from the beginning of the Republic till 1930, in which Congress enforced its own compulsion of testimony subpoenas. And that meant that if necessary, we sent the sergeant at arms or its equivalent and arrested people and detained them until they cooperated with the congressional subpoena. I think the Justice Department takes too long, and I think the courts take too long. It's a very long, torturous process, and meanwhile, we need to be getting things done in real time. People died because of the conspiracy that these people were involved in to overturn the election on January 6th. That was a dagger at the very heart of democracy itself. And we must take that as seriously as it was intended. And we can't rely on the courts to enforce our subpoena.
So, Georgia, as you can see, they're doing their best to make progress to find out and get to the bottom of January 6th. And of course, these individuals are refusing to testify, I would offer, because they know they're culpable. And so now the select committee is having to circumvent some of or rather go back to a throwback of the past and have the sergeant at arms directly arrest these individuals because they're refusing to testify before Congress.
And this is another situation where I just feel like people are trying to wiggle out of being held accountable.
That's right.
If you played a role, be proud, say what you did, and just take the consequence that comes along with it. It reminds me a little bit. I was just watching The Post over the weekend, and another series that documented Watergate. And, when one person comes forth and they start confessing their role, and usually what ends up happening is all of a sudden there's a ton of other people who are implied. And, we have seen people who served in the military who were involved in January 6th. We've seen police officers who were involved in January 6th. We've seen politicians who were involved in January 6th. They all need to be held accountable. And there needs to be some serious consideration on whether or not the people who are serving in those kinds of professional roles should be allowed to continue to serve in those professional roles.
That's right, Georgia. And it really does speak, quite frankly, to the ability in this country for powerful white men, particularly conservative men, to simply do as they see fit with impunity. I mean, just think about the implications of being able to plan and execute an attempted overthrow of this government and then just say, I'm not going to testify.
Yeah. And, I think there was this part in The Post where they said, this looks like a coup. And it brought me back to January 6th, because, there was a moment where President Nixon fired the attorney who was leading the investigation. They had asked for an independent investigation. He fired that attorney really for no good reason, because he was actually doing a good job and was going to start holding people accountable, right? And so he fires the attorney, and they went in and staged a sit-in. And so, it was interesting to see that many decades ago what they considered a coup, and then now having lived through January 6th, seeing what a real coup is, right?
Right.
But this process for justice has been long, and I think our generation will always contrast the treatment of the people on January 6th to the treatment of the people who are standing up for the life of George Floyd, for Dante Wright, for Breonna Taylor, for the injustice that happened to Jacob Blake. Because those instances happened so close together, you cannot help but compare and contrast the treatment of the people who were involved on both sides of these different issues.
And now that you say it like that, Georgia, it makes me think clearly of Kyle Rittenhouse. The fact that him being involved in this entire conversation specifically because of the protests. He turned out as a counter protesters, and now he's almost at the point where he's going to be able to escape responsibility, depending on how this justice system works out. I mean, let me say it like this. What can't an aggrieved white conservative get away with in this country?
Yeah. Yeah. And, Ben, to take it a step further, there's some parallels even to the man who fatally shot Trayvon Martin. His name is escaping me at the moment.
George Zimmerman.
George Zimmerman. Do you remember the amount of support that people poured out for him? I'm seeing something similar with Kyle Rittenhouse, because he is symbolic of the white men in this nation who want to be able to bear arms, who want to be able to go out in our streets and kill and lynch whoever they feel like it, without there being any kind of accountability or consequence.
That's right.
And so Rittenhouse, whether he's found guilty or not guilty, he has garnered so much support from people who believe in what he did, and who likely would go out and do what he did too, and may have been there on January 6th.
That's right. That's right. Birds of a feather. They're all flocking together quite well, aren't they?
Yeah. Yep. Well, the other story I'd like to cover this morning, Ben, we have been covering, the developments in the Dante Wright case since it happened. Kimberly Potter's trial is set to begin on November 30th. And there's a lot of demonstrations that are happening now surrounding not just the injustice of what happened to Dante Wright, but also the proceedings for the trial. There's been this back and forth on whether or not this trial will be live streamed. I did reporting on election day that this trial would be live streamed because there was a motion, and it's still on the Hennepin County Court's website. There was a motion that was published saying that it was approved. But at closer look, that actually is not signed. And so now there have been motions from both local media, national media, Court TV is involved. There's all these filings trying to convince the judge to allow cameras in the courtroom, to allow this trial to be live streamed. In Minnesota, there's usually not cameras in the courtroom. There was an exception made for the Derek Chauvin trial. And so they're asking for that same exception in this case as well. But, with this back and forth happening, and it's getting closer and closer to the date that the trial starts, the community is also demanding that cameras be in the courtroom. And so we saw protesters. I'm not sure if we have any footage of this, but we saw protesters showing up to the home of Judge Regina Chu.
That's right.
And demanding that she allow cameras in the courtroom so that there can be transparency in this process. What it brings up for me, Ben, is the status quo in, not just the media industry, but within the courts, right? But if this court does not allow cameras to be in the courtroom, will it affect our ability to have the transparency we need to know whether or not they are actually trying to prosecute Kimberly Potter and have her held accountable for killing Daunte Wright?
That's right. That's right, Georgia. And that's the thing. It's so here. All these stories are connected. You mentioned George Zimmerman. I remember that trial, and I remember watching every moment of it. And I remember dissecting the arguments. And that's when I realized, for me, and this is my opinion, but being able to watch these court proceedings gives us the ability to see the efficacy or the lack thereof with which these prosecutors actually try these cases. You can hear in these cases when a prosecutor is not actually taking an argument seriously, or they're not actually asking the relevant questions. And this is one of the reasons they don't want cameras in the courtroom, because we're sitting there and we're able to, in real time, of course we can read it after the fact, but we all know how compelling video is. And so if we are now stripped of the ability to examine this proceedings, then, well, they can get away with any argument they want, or rather not argue the things that are very necessary. And I think we see Kyle Rittenhouse being the perfect example. Here's a case where, there's some arguments we're going to have to really parse through to make our way through this case.
Absolutely. And, when you're able to also see the process of jury selection, I think that has been a component of the justice system that people are now more hyper aware of after all of these high profile trials in the last year. And so when we're able to hear and see why some of the jurors are not allowed to serve, you start to see that the jury selection project is very strategic, and it's something that is intentionally crafted by both the prosecution and the defense. I want you guys, it does look like we have some coverage here. I want you guys to take a look. This is reporting on what happened over the weekend. Protesters showing up to demand that Judge Regina Chu allow cameras in the courtroom for the Kimberly Potter trial. Take a look.
We are now 3 weeks away from jury selection in the Kim Potter trial. The former Brooklyn Center police officer charged with manslaughter for the shooting death of Daunte Wright. But authorities are concerned about an incident over the weekend in which protesters went to the home of the judge.
Unlike the Derek Chauvin trial, so far Judge Regina Chu has not allowing cameras in the courtroom for Potter's trial. Now, on Saturday night, protesters upset with that went all the way to what they believed was her front door in a scene that's upsetting to a lot of people.
I know where I'm at.
The live stream begins with activist Cortez Rice on the floor of the condo where he says Judge Regina Chu lives.
We got confirmation that this is her house right here.
Judge Chu is presiding over the trial of Kim Potter, the former Brooklyn Center officer charged with manslaughter for shooting Daunte Wright.
The judge stay in this nice predominantly white neighborhood, this nice little white building.
Rice lingers by the door, then yells out the window at other protesters.
Hey, yo!
And walks outside after a resident on the floor questions him.
Is there a reason why you're yelling out the window? Yeah, to let the gang know we up in this bitch.
Outside, Rice joins about 20 other protesters yelling for Judge Chu to allow cameras in the courtroom for the Potter trial.
We need those cameras in that courtroom, lady!
I understand the First Amendment. I understand that people have a right to protest. But you want to have a protest that's effective. And this is a monumentally stupid way to go about to express your opinion.
Former Chief Judge of Hennepin County District Court Kevin Burke, now retired, says the tactic is ineffective because no judge would make a ruling out of intimidation for the obvious precedent it would set. Many people inside the condo called 911, and Minneapolis police are now looking into it. Rice deleted his live stream, but returned today to defend his actions, claiming he was not intimidating Judge Chu.
One thing I would have loved to have seen with that coverage is an alternative viewpoint other than a retired white judge who felt like their tactics were stupid. He's entitled to his opinion, and that is definitely a side of the story. I think they should have balanced that out, though, and so what this is, I just want to highlight here when I talk about changing the narrative, that this is some of the things that I'm pointing to, right? Because if you would have gotten a Black judge or a Black attorney, they may have had a different opinion. When you look at what has happened in the Twin Cities area, St. Paul, Minneapolis, Brooklyn Center, which is just a few miles away from Minneapolis, where Daunte Wright was killed. When you look at what has happened in this community over the last, I would even say 10 years, Ben, because this includes what happened to Mark Clark, Philando Castile, all of these high profile cases. Protesters have been effective. And one of their tactics and strategies has been to show up at people's houses and share their message there. We saw this being effective for the increase in charges. If you remember, Kimberly Potter was originally charged, I think, with just second-degree manslaughter. Protesters showed up at the home of the county attorney and said, increase the charges, right? And guess what? Now she's being charged with first-degree manslaughter. And so even they asked for the case to be handed off to Attorney Ellison, who also was the special prosecution team for the Derek Chauvin trial, right? That also happened. And so showing up at people's house, there's like this saying here in the Twin Cities now, we will pull up.
That's right.
Will pull up to your house. And why not? If those protesters, they did not cause any property damage. They were there to say, we want transparency in this trial. They were there to voice their concerns, express themselves, and demand justice, from their viewpoint and their perspective.
That's right. Georgia, seizing the narrative. I heard you say that loudly and clearly when we first met, because that's exactly what we have to do here. And it's exactly the way that you described, because they put up in this clip someone who said that, well, you want a type of protest that's going to be effective. That's not what that retired judge wants. He wants something that's not going to interrupt him, that's not going to disturb him. He wants something that he can casually ignore so that they could go about their regular course of business, carrying out the duties of this injustice system. Because there's no form of protest that's ever going to be acceptable to them. Colin Kaepernick took a knee and they destroyed his career. How much more silent and how much more peaceful can you get than that? And we see how this country reacted with their fangs and their venom coming full throated.
Yeah. And, and that cost him his career. And so, that wasn't acceptable. It was peaceful. It was, something that he just did on his own. And even at that time, the president of the United States, who was Trump at the time, used his platform to call him out of his name, to belittle him, to disrespect him. And you have to think, when Kaepernick took that knee, it was before George Floyd was killed, right?
That's right.
And then
That's right.
all of a sudden the world was like surprised, and they're like, no, actually, please take a knee, just don't burn down our buildings. And it's like, oh, so now you want us to take a knee, and so it is very hypocritical, the messaging that I think is sent from folks who are Black and brown, who do not have to live in communities that are oppressed, who do not have to fight their entire life to close these gaps and the disparities, all of these statistics, right? And so I have personally seen people showing up and expressing themselves. I've seen it effective. I've seen it work. I've seen change come. And so, I understand why folks were out there over the weekend, and it will be interesting to see what this judge decides. If this judge, if Judge Chu decides to allow cameras in the courtroom, we are absolutely going to be covering the trial. And if she doesn't allow it, I'm still here. So I'll be working to get access into the courtroom so that I can follow along with what's happening. But right now, I think there's about a dozen media entities who have motions filed to try to get access in the courtroom. Honestly, Ben, I think in Minnesota, they need to change their laws. I think cameras should be allowed in the courtroom at all times for transparency and accountability.
Absolutely. And I'm going to be honest with you, at a bare minimum, there has to be audio transcripts in real time. There's got to be a way. And there's no excuse, because justice can't be carried out in darkness. So somehow, some way, some form of fashion, the people need to be able to give an accounting, right? We need to have confidence in this system, and we can't if there's no transparency, because there's no audio, there's no video in the year 2021. Interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. Well, we are on the clock. And so what can people look forward to coming up next?
Georgia, we have a long rundown of stories that are happening. I'm really looking forward to the conversation that we're going to be having coming up with Like It or Not. There are just a couple of cultural issues. There are intersections that are happening with COVID-19. Black folks are being used as a tool by people who don't want us to get vaccinated. So we have to dig into that a little bit, because we need Black folks to get vaccinated, and we need Black folks' children to get vaccinated. Everybody, yes. But when we talk about the number of Black people, children who are living without their parents right now because of COVID-19, it is so urgent that we have this conversation, and we're going to have a full-throated conversation at 9 o'clock on Like It or Not.
Keep it here for that and more on The Benjamin Dixon Show.
Y'all know who it is. You know the voice. You know the sound. It's your boy, DJ Exclusive James Bubba Williams has entered the building. Good morning, everybody. Shout out to y'all, man. Good morning, everybody. Don't tell me so funny like they never have me back here. Y'all set up the golden sound and everything. All right, how's that? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Shout out to you wherever you're streaming from right now. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you at.
Look, I'm in line with the stars, I'm in sync with the earth. 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf. I never switch sides, like even when I die, I'm a ride for the squad. Ladder ties in the hearse. I've been on a vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle of the time of my life. I'm never so packed for the stack, never lied on the rag. Got a bag from the way that I write it. Queen looking Tyson.
Really, good morning, Barbara, Ebron, Alicia, Brother Chuck, Diesel, Elizabeth Mom. Good morning, y'all. Sophia. Good morning.
Trail spill from my lips, feel bent from the bit. Take a sip till I pass out. Try and get grit, but it don't make sense. Cause you can lose.
There we go, that's better.
Yeah. Turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beats with the slap, pin myself on the map.
All right, how's that? That's a little bit better.
5-hour flights, couple nights at the flat.
That microphone
Couldn't see me making moves while I'm at.
Zoom, I hate you. I'm just playing. I want you to get Good morning, everybody. Miss Nuru, good morning, y'all. Tiger, what's going on? Roller Dragon, Hollywood 2000. Good morning, everybody. Church Lady, Uneasy. Good morning. Tara Estrada. Good morning, y'all. Ryan, good morning.
Settle in, I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the cash, got snakes in the grass, no brakes on the ad, but it's all fun.
You know, that's my music, David.
Heard enough, give me space before I murder y'all. 10 bad here, I'ma curve them all. 12 missed calls, and I still made a curtain call. Here to light it up, lighten up. Hear him talking, they ain't right enough, tighten up. Everything that I came for, I left with. I don't bang sets, I just bang.
Amber Layla, good morning.
When I came for the
Good morning.
I might put you on the gas.
XOXXO Bob, good morning. On the go, Shady Dragon, good morning. Keegan. Good morning. Truth the Dragon. Good morning, Mark S. What's going on, Mark? Afraid not. Good morning. Moonmeat. Good morning, Moonmeat. Dorian, we missed you as well too. D-So, good morning. Justice Draconis, good morning. Taj Newby, good morning, y'all. And if you have not already, patreon.com/LikeItOrNot, patreon.com/LikeItOrNot, or patreon.com/TheBPD Show, man. Go ahead, join, get content, and give Rebecca freedom. I'm sick of corporate America, man. Get me out of here. Six Dragon Daddy, good morning. Sister Mara Cerise, good morning. Iris Jones, what's going on? Lindsay Miller, with that. Lock Beauty, shout out from Wisconsin. Good morning, Lock Beauty. Welcome to the parade. Good morning, Mama and Daddy. Good morning. Love y'all. Kimberly Blakely, good morning to you. I'm hooked on you like phonics. Gotta be honest, you're on it. And this ain't no time to be modest. Push that, shake that, girl, take your risk, name it, siphonate it. We don't need a recipe. With that cream, baby, pour that sweet on me, baby, shade it. We can cook up, we can serve when we got Rocket Ranger, good morning. With that cream, with that Six Dragon Daddy, get the hell out of here, Lee. Get you away from me, Satan. Damn all that. And that sweet on me. We can cook up, we can stir up when we hook up, just you and you and me with that cream. Marshall Reese, we missed you too. Uneasy, good morning. Patty P, good morning, Patty. You can't break my focus. All I got right now is attention. Give me the divine intervention. Hey, you done got me started. Every day is just the beginning. Take it to the bank, now I'm winning. Watch me rise, no more anchors holding me down. All I need is more. One more hour, one more minute, one more chance for me to win it. Yeah, every time I do, I catch it. I know how to make it happen. I want more. Climbing every mountain, keep both eyes on the top, on the top. And nothing's gonna tell me to stop. Tara G, good morning. All right, y'all, it's time to roll that intro. But before we do, why did the orange lose the race? Why did the orange lose the race? It ran out of juice. All right, y'all, Benjamin Dixon is coming up next. Let's start the show. Good morning, y'all.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Tuesday, November 9th, 2021. I'm here with my brother from another mother, DJ Exclusive. Actually, bro, that was actually funny. I giggled.
I didn't see the damn ghost. Oh, Jesus. Look at him. Oh, Lord. Oh, my Lord, today.
And my camera's tilted.
Benjamin Dixon, y'all, is on camera, and then I heard that it's some technical difficulties over there, but it's okay. We got you
don't
for a
jinx
few
it,
seconds
James.
being in school. I know, right?
Don't
you only
jinx it.
have me. You don't have me for a long time, but you have me for
But
a
you got
good
me for
time because my
good time.
my
That's
my
right.
camera is going in and out. My camera is protesting. My camera doesn't want to work today. But I digress. Here we are, James. I was trying to go and talk about the orange joke because actually that made me laugh, man. Thank you for that one.
Hey,
But you know how the
welcome,
orange
dude. And also,
you know how the
fix a
orange
broken
won.
pumpkin,
Oh, how do you fix a broken pumpkin? How?
Yeah, with a pumpkin patch. Don't you say?
I was going to add on to it. How did the orange lost the race, but how did he end up winning? On a pill. Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, y'all. This is what y'all go through when I do it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry to that man. I'm sorry.
A2 Ben J. All right, here we go. Let's get to it. Elon Musk. I don't like him. But here's why. He's Lex Luthor with hair plugs. He's a villain. James, I'm trying to be serious here. No, I'm not. Elon Musk is a villain, and that the people can't really see this is really mind-boggling because we read so many comic books, James. We watch so many movies. We can clearly identify who the villains are in the movies. But Elon Musk, who wanted to institute, of course, if you don't know him, he is the founder of Tesla, SpaceX. He's the richest man on Earth right now. I think he's ahead of of Jeff Bezos by a few tens of billions. Anyway, he's trying to get to Mars and all these kinds of things. But at the end of the day, Elon Musk, he's a warmonger who uses his power and his influence. James, he almost started an entire coup in Bolivia in order to get access to the lithium there because Tesla Motors needs lithium. Their batteries needs lithium. So when I say Elon Musk is a villain, I'm not speaking hyperbolically. I'm dead ass. This man is a bad person. And he's playing games with us. He's also, teasing us with potentially ending world hunger. Because the UN said it's going to cost about $6 billion. And, not Jeff Bezos, they're all the same monster. But Elon Musk jumped into the conversation and was like, well, if you want me to, I can sell $6 billion worth of stock and it can get us in world hunger. Do it.
Do it.
I like to see. Stop talking about it. Be about it. Say less.
Exactly.
How many ways we got to say it?
And Ben, we lost your camera.
There it is. Run the track. Here's Elon Musk talking about his taxes or something. Let's play it.
Musk. The sell-off came after Musk put up a poll on Twitter asking users whether he should offload a tenth of his shares. I will abide by the results of this poll whichever way it goes, Musk said when he started the poll Saturday. Users voted yes by a margin of 58% to 42%, with more than 3.5 million votes cast. Musk's poll from hell for Tesla investors comes after the CEO expressed discontent with the billionaire's tax, a proposal by Democrats on Capitol Hill to impose an extra tax on the wealth of billionaires to pay for the president's Build Back Better social programs. But Musk has other reasons to sell shares too. According to Wedbush Securities stock analyst Dan Ives, Musk has a quote, big tax bill coming due from his 23 million stock options awarded in 2012 that have vested and expire in August 2022, and he was going to sell some stock before year end.
James, sorry I had to do it to you, man. I had to switch back.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll let it pass this time because you were here. We understand that you have camera difficulty, so it's okay. Good to go.
Elon Musk was going to sell those stocks anyway, man. He just did the world's freest publicity campaign on the. Elon Musk is a villain. That's all I got to say about it.
Ben, you absolutely said it right. He is the modern day Lex Luthor. Everything that you said and everything that he's doing, he literally is Lex Luthor out here in these streets.
With hair plugs.
With hair plugs.
With hair plugs. Yeah. Now, shout out to him for hair plugs because I'm really wondering if I could grow my hair back. So I'm not going to knock on him too much because he has enough money to go and get those $2,000 grafts. Every plug is like $2,000. I'm not making that kind of money. I haven't sold out like Jimmy Dore enough to actually make that kind of pitch. You know what I mean? I can't afford the hair plugs. I'm a little jealous of Elon Musk hair plugs, but he is nothing more than Lex Luthor with hair plugs who wants to start a coup in Bolivia. A coup, which means there's a violent military overthrow of the government in exchange for what? Batteries for Teslas? I mean, Teslas are cool, but I don't want a coup for a Tesla. Do you, James?
Absolutely not. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that said, we're going to be joined momentarily by Leon Yin. He's a friend of the show. He's been covering Amazon and Jeff Bezos. And he's also been doing some coverage on our channel. He's been doing some research on our channel. We'll be joined by him momentarily to discuss all the work that he's doing in the tech industry. Because one of the things that we're fighting against, James, more than anything else, it's not just the bigotry that we're fighting the technology. And Elon Musk knows this. Jeff Bezos knows this. Mark Zuckerberg knows this. And they've cornered the markets respectively in technology because they know the revolution, all this stuff we're fighting against, man, it's the algorithm that's making it possible.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
And we're fighting against it all the time, man. It's like, it's just, we can't win for losing. So we'll be talking with Leon Yin about Amazon specifically, but the algorithm in general, because I'm going to be honest with you, man, it's a fight, and it's been a very difficult fight on our end for some time, because as you can see in our world, it's the easiest way for you to understand what we're fighting against in the algorithm is put up a video of you twerking, anybody. And you're going to get, 100,000 views. Put up a video of you, talking about critical race theory. You're going to get 5 views. That's it. Right. That's all. 5 good views. With that being
said, Ben's twerk video will be available soon on YouTube, patreon.com/like it or not, patreon.com/the BPD show. You can always find it there as well, too.
Listen, man, I'm working out my hips, bro. Listen, I've been doing some therapy on my lower back and stuff. So I might actually do it. Patreon.com /the BPD show. Let's skip. I want to do one more quick video. If you guys could go to E1 from Right Wing Watch. This is Right Wing Pastor Shane Vaughn, who's claiming, now this one is a little dense and we're going to have to probably come back to it, but I just want to set this up because I want us to definitely come to it and talk about it. I want to take a look at something. So this story is Shane Vaughn. We've covered him on here. He's laying claim to something that's really weird, James. And if you allow me to just kind of set it up, he's claiming in this clip that the founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, George Washington, et cetera, those white men were actually descendants of the tribes of Israel. Okay, so here's what he's saying. He's saying every signer of the Declaration of Independence were descendants of the tribes of Israel. And it's kind of heavy when you really think of what he's trying to pull off here. There's a lot more to it, but I want us to hear him say it first, and then we're gonna do a hard cut and go to Leon and talk to him in a minute. But I want y'all to hear this and just let it sit in you, the kind of madness that we're actually up against. Let's run this clip of Pastor Shane Vaughn.
Every signer of the Declaration of Independence were descendants of the tribes of Israel. We can trace it, we know it. And here's the thing you've got to understand about Israel. Most people think of Israel, when you say the word Israel, they think of Jews. I was a doctor of theology. I was the youngest ordained evangelist in America at 14 years old.
Wow.
I've lived for the Lord my whole life. And I was dumb as a box of rocks and didn't know it at 40 years old, because I thought that a Jew meant Israel and an Israel meant Jew. Until I started studying my Bible, and I found out that the first mention of the word Jew in the Bible is them fighting against Israel. At one time, they were one nation. King Solomon died, King Jeroboam, King Rehoboam, there was a split.
Yep.
The Jews, the tribe of Judah, stayed in Jerusalem. They kept the Sabbath. That's why they're still out.
James, it goes on for another minute. I wanted to play that much of it because I really want people to tune in for the rest of that conversation, because this man, it's really wild how these people can claim to be so pro-Jewish and pro-Israel, and they carry some of the most anti-Semitic stuff I've ever heard in my life. And that's not just the whole of it. I mean, there's just all kind of twisted things. I want to wait for Rebecca to get in so we could dig in it, not only for political purposes, but also from the religious perspective. That said, I want to bring on friend of the show, Leon Yin. He is a data journalist with The Markup. Last year, Leon and Adrian Jeffries published an investigation that found Google gave itself 41% of real estate on search engines. Now they've done a similar study on Amazon. Leon, thank you so much for joining us. How are you today?
It's great to be back. Good morning.
Good morning. The pleasure is always ours. Tell us about the study that you're working on with Amazon and how it intersects with your study for Google.
Right. So last year, my partner, Adrian Jeffries, as you mentioned, we want to know how much of the page Google was giving itself. So we scraped a bunch of searches and developed a methodology of doing that. And then in the year since, we've been trying to do the same with Amazon. So we collected thousands of popular searches on Amazon and then developed a way to find all of the products that are Amazon's private label or exclusive to Amazon. So we collected thousands of searches there. And what we found is that these products have an advantage in search. So they're often placed in front of competitors who have better star ratings and more reviews. So they seem like they're superior products, but Amazon places their own first. We also found that they're disproportionately placed in the top spot. So about 60% of the top spot goes to ads. So you can buy your way up. The rest of the 40% are evenly split between Amazon's own brands and competitors. However, Amazon's products only take up about 6% of all products, and the competitors about 77%. So they're the same proportion, put in the top, but they're disproportionately placed there.
Wow. Okay. I know we just kind of got into the weeds here real fast. Yeah. But damn. I just want to accentuate the conversation with, damn, you mean to tell me Amazon products only represent about 6% of the competition? But wait, no, you got to give me that number again. I don't want to misspeak it. Give me that last data point that you said 77% is actually coming from the competition. Help me with that data.
Right. So when we looked at thousands of popular search results, we found that Amazon placed its own products the top 20% of the time, and competitors also got 20% of the time at the top. However, Amazon's own products make up a tiny proportion of all products, 7% or 6%, sorry, whereas competitors are about 77%. Not only that, we got more stats. We got a lot of stats. We tried to predict what product Amazon would place in the top when we compared the first two, right? So we looked at differences between star reviews, between ratings, whether the product was Amazon or not, and several other features. And we only need to know if the product was going to be Amazon or not to predict what Amazon put at the top. We got that right 75% of the time, just with knowing if the product would be Amazon or not.
So help me understand this question. It's their platform, right? Should we have an expectation? You got to excuse me. I'm trying to clear my throat here. Should we have the expectation that Amazon would do anything other than this. I mean, it's their platform. They're trying to promote their stuff. Like this obviously doesn't give anyone else a fair opportunity. It obviously, when Amazon is becoming the entirety of the internet marketplace, we have some inherent contradictions, some conflicts. If Amazon is going to be the only place on the planet to buy stuff, there's got to be some equity there, right?
That's right. I mean, Amazon dominates e-commerce. They dominate commerce. They're the largest retailer outside of China. They're about to eclipse Walmart in sales, both online and offline, right? So they're about to surpass Walmart in sales. And we actually did a survey of about 1,000 US adults to ask what they thought Amazon would put in the top. Only about 17% thought that Amazon would put its own product at the top. The rest of people either didn't know or assumed it would be the best product in terms of price or reviews. So people don't expect Amazon to be placing their products at the top. And this is why I think Congress is putting in these bills about big tech and self-preferencing, because, Amazon dominates the e-commerce market. If you are a retailer and you want to sell online, you have to do through Amazon. I think 9 out of 10 sales, I believe, for e-commerce are through Amazon or something like that. I need to check that, but it's quite proportional. Yeah. And we talked to sellers too. So we didn't just crunch the numbers, we talked to sellers. We met sellers who spent tens of thousands of dollars a month on ads just to put their product highly on search. But then Amazon will come in and create their own product and it'll immediately rank highly in search. So all that money and the work to you do SEO and get reviews doesn't really matter when you're competing with Amazon.
It doesn't matter because they own the entire thing. Go ahead, James. I'm back.
Right. I was about to say it makes sense because unfortunately I still buy certain things off Amazon, and with certain products, especially some of let's say speaker equipment, headphones, or anything else, they always put those brands at the top. And you think that, okay, it's the Amazon choice or Amazon preferred, it must be a better buy. 9 times out of 10, it is not at all. So this is crazy just to know that, because my thought process was Amazon products, so they're at the top, then this must be a better product to use. And let me go ahead and try it. But most times I skip right past it. Yeah.
James, you nailed it, man, because when whatever shows up at the top of the search engine wins. Wins. And Amazon is not playing they're not just playing Monopoly, okay? They're playing world domination here. If I could, and now this is commentary coming from me, not Leon and his organization or Adriana, the markup. What I'm about to say is purely Ben Dixon. Jeff Bezos on the screen right now. This company that he created is playing for world domination because they own the infrastructure of the internet digitally. If you have a website on the internet, chances are it's going through Amazon Web Services. Right, Leon? Am I wrong, or is that right?
Oh my gosh.
That's right. Amazon Web Services is a huge backbone of the web. For sure.
Then they also now own logistics. And I do mean it in that generic sense because they're effing everywhere. Forget about the story of FedEx and they're buying airplanes. Pull up the B-roll of those brothers working for Amazon, driving through every neighborhood in every city across the country. Amazon owns logistics, and all it costs for you to get your delivery Prime next day is for their drivers to be urinating in pee bottles. That's it. Yeah. And now, Leon, what you're saying is that's not enough. They own the backbone of the internet. They own logistics and delivery. I mean, they're getting positioned to just replace the UPS. I mean, the United States Postal Services, right? That's not enough. Now they want cheap manufacturing too, because they're prioritizing all their crappy little products and putting them at the top, all knowing they're going to burn out and break in the next 6 months. And we're going to come right back to search for a replacement. And there at the top is going to be the upgraded model of the same piece of crap we just threw away from Amazon. Leon, am I a conspiracy theorist?
I wouldn't say you're conspiracy theorists. I mean, they're definitely dominating the market. And they've left a legacy where if you're an e-commerce company, and even if you're not in America, you strive to be the Amazon of X, right? Like that's a thing you hear founders talk about all the time, right? Like we're going to be the Amazon of pet supplies or the Amazon of vacuums, right? There are other countries like in Korea, they have adopted, companies have adopted the Amazon model of instant gratification. and their delivery workers dying of exhaustion, an alarming rate because they can't keep up, right? So no one can keep up, right? So by setting the standard, it's a significant thing to think about long term and what it means for businesses to try to compete.
Wow.
James, that next day delivery, man, that thing is a powerful thing, man.
It is. And now, of course, especially now that they offer, you can get it delivered now in the next 3 or 4 hours at no additional fee. You can get it delivered overnight for no additional fee. So you're right, man.
And then they try same day delivery, but I guess that you just said that, but in some areas they don't even try it, right? I was thinking in Boston there was a carved out area called Roxbury, the blackest part of Boston. They didn't do same day delivery there, but I digress. That's a whole different conversation, Leon. I didn't want to bring you in on all that because I will pull you down into the rabbit hole of the revolution. Leon, tell people how they can support your work, man, and what you have coming up next.
Yeah, you can find us at themarkup.org. We're a nonprofit newsroom, so we release stuff. All our data methodology is available there too. I'm Leon Yin at Twitter. Send me tips. I'm working on news stories now about tech and auditing tech. So let me know. And we got a fun thing coming out at the end of the month. So I can't say more, but we got a fun thing coming out.
We like fun. We like
nice.
Hey, listen, we like fun and we like Easter eggs. So keep that on ice for us and let us know what's coming up. Right. Listen, can you just listen? As we get ready to get out of here, we were talking about my YouTube channel. And I kind of just threw up my hands on YouTube. I keep using it because there's a wonderful audience there. Shout out to everyone watching on YouTube. We love you all. But what was the number? You were looking at the data. I don't know if you remember off the top of your head, but it caught me off guard. How many of the videos that you researched were being demonetized or red flagged or whatever the correct phrasing in your research? Do you remember that number?
I don't off the top of my head, but this is definitely something I want to look into, especially why your channel's not doing better because you're doing everything right.
I think you
and I'm
told
not just
me
pandering there.
No, well, thank you. If we appreciate it. We try to make it do what it do, baby. That's all. But I remember you saying somewhere around 70% of our videos were flagged by
That's
YouTube.
right. I looked at your videos and saw how many were, I think, age restricted, and it looked like it was about 7 out of 10 of the last 100 were not considered appropriate for all ages.
7 out of 10.
What?
7 out of 10, James. How am I supposed to feel? Anyway, Leon, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you for coming on, brother.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Let's talk more about YouTube.
Let's do that.
Oh,
find
man,
me
yes, please.
Hey, DJ Exclusive, it's in your hands. Folks, when we come back, Rebecca Azora is coming in for Like It or Not. It's about to go down.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us, man. We greatly appreciate you. Man, I cannot wait to have this conversation about YouTube because that's YouTube, you petty. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Thanks, Leon.
You sure you can handle? We be faster than Django.
All right, y'all. Y'all make sure that you stay tuned. Like It or Not is coming up next with Rebecca Azor, sister from another mister, y'all. So make sure that you stay tuned.
Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop. You sure you can handle? Okay. We can take my Lambo. I'll put on a tight check. You sure you can handle?
the story. Good morning, Terry Stacy. Good morning. Brother Tyler, good morning, Tyler. Uneasy, good morning. Sassy, what's going on, Sassy? Good morning to you. Blind Mellow Jelly. Blind Mellow Jelly, good morning. David Ray, good morning. Courtney the SLP, what's going on, sister? Good morning to you. Right, David.
I'm about to go cool. Leave my head is red like old news. Yeah, trying to get the green like it's Whole Foods. Couldn't take my style and now you so blue. Yeah, now we don't even know you. Your hometown, we don't.
All right, y'all make sure that you stay tuned, man. Like it or not, starting up next on the Benjamin Dixon Show, y'all. So make sure that you stay tuned.
So free, can't no man kill him. Came from the bottom, was a broke man, girl, still move like
Brother Latif, promises manifested. Good morning. Chuck Diesel Park.
Sheriff in town, I get a little reckless. Mr. Memo, go check the message. I ain't think
right.
Back for seconds. I ain't seen your fake little necklace. Lifestyle decrepit. I should probably expect this. Too much game for your league. I'm Hussein with Steve. I'm Hussein on these. Legendary and everything you aim to be. I'm insane and free. You can't tame the beast. Enemy. All these just wanna be a mini me. All these just wanna be a mini me.
Brother Kev C, what's going on, Kev?
All these just wanna be a mini me. 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 All these just wanna be a mini me.
Jonathan Guerrero, good morning. Happy Taco Tuesday. Oh man, have y'all heard the new Silk Sonic song, Smoking Out the Window? My God, today. Them boys crazy. Them boys good. Them boys good.
I feel alive in the light track. I play the bag,
play the damn
but I
song.
came back. Still a little light in the light track. Still a bit of good. So and I know just what to say. And I know just what to do. And I'm so sick of pain.
Oh, and if y'all have not already, let y'all ass go see Eternals. Damn good movie. I have seen it twice already.
The music, my mind can't find the words. No, I can't seem to find. But I'm really trying to get.
Got you. Bakery in the Zeta, what's going on, sir?
Sometimes, honey, me, you want a little bit of gasoline. Burned out, so to speak. Come a little closer.
Keto, good morning, Keto. What, mama? It don't sound right when you say that. Good morning, mama.
If you seek for love, then try to hide it. Find it deep inside and try to hide it. If there's a way, I want to know which way.
I understand what you're feeling. I got you, because I felt the same way. I saw it again, but it was so cool for what it was. But yeah, it felt like it was like kind of useless. I feel you, but I think it's maybe because we were always accustomed to the main pictures, and now we got this other.
Y'all know what time it is. Good morning, y'all.
But yeah, it took some time to get used to it. But I love the team.
Whatever it is you need.
All right, so y'all know what time it is.
9 a.m. to 10:30, yeah. Like it or not is on your channel, yeah. Politics and culture ish, we change skin like we supposed to, yeah. Interviews and all the news, we get to choose what gets the views. Like it or not, with Queen Azor, it's starting now, so stick around. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not,
D-So, you stupid.
It's coming through. You know she got a good story for you. Oh, Benjamin, that's my dog. This is his show. He's a politics bro. DJ exclusive, y'all know who I am. I stay dropping them jams. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, y'all stick around. Oh, like it or not, it's starting now. Like it or not, it's starting to go down.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, people.
Good morning and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it.
It is
Chuck Diesel. Chuck Diesel is a damn fool.
What Chuck say, man?
I just accidentally spilled baby oil over myself. Oops, my shirt fell off.
What? Wait a minute. See, when I said in the last segment,
when the song comes on, Ben, you know that just has that effect. It just,
bro. I still owe you a verse. I owe you a verse. I'm going to do it. I was trying to wait for Rebecca to come and sing her verse, but she's running late on that, just like she's running late this morning. But I digress. Good morning.
I'm here.
Oh, look at God! Oh, Jesus!
Look at that! Got called on the carpet. Should have bought a Hyundai, but I couldn't afford a Bentley. Come on, screen girl. Come on here.
I can't put myself on screen. I'm just waiting.
And there she is.
Come on. Damn, Rebecca, you looking on. What's up, shorty? Beat girl from around the way.
What's that?
I need a roundaway girl.
Around the way, girl.
Or the Usher song. What is that one? Superstar. That's more my speed.
Okay.
But Ben, I saw you on air today.
I was. And if you saw me right now, you think I was a whole clown, like I was a whole fool. I took off my camera stopped working, so I threw my suit jacket over there, my shirt somewhere. I'm on the floor doing yoga. Yeah. Good morning.
Ben, you're giving.
I don't like that.
Ben, you're giving the public treat a little too much information.
I don't like that.
It was
on camera,
my camera went out.
What was I talking? He went black like me, like I normally do. Like he just
we normally do.
Okay.
And what do we do when that happens? We reach over to the battery. Okay.
No. This is a wiring thing. He changed his rig. He made the mistake of moving his laptop.
I know that's your best friend.
No. I'm annoyed that he moved the damn laptop.
I'm kidding.
You know,
good morning, Hollywood. Praise God. Buenas noches. What are we doing?
James, I promise to God, I thought that girl was that woman. James, I thought she was getting ready to say, when I think of the Rebecca, it sounded like you were getting ready to say when I think of the goodness of Jesus, but bonus noches is just as good. What is wrong with us this morning?
Rebecca, get out!
What is wrong with us?
I don't know. It's every time I come on, I feel like you guys
come on late and you give me and James time to actually like just do what we do when we be at his crib.
Because it's usually between you and James being children here, and I have to moderate.
The nerve.
The nerve. Okay.
The unmitigated gall.
That's fine. Let me go put my hair on.
Painting herself as the adult.
Go get the hair and make sure it's ginger red because I like that color.
Now, listen. Watch this. Now, there's 3 of us on the screen. I was going to do this with 2 of us, but according to Steve Bannon, one of us on the screen is going to vote for Donald Trump in 2024. Which one of y'all is it? Because it ain't me.
Actually, 1.5 of you.
Yes, well, the numbers got messed up.
David alone.
The fractions got a little more difficult than I can handle this morning, David. Thanks a lot. I just want to know if somebody, because 50%, God damn it, David. 50%
it's actually 50% of black men, so maybe you're right.
50%
it's going to be none of us, but
of black men are going to vote for Donald Trump, according to Steve Bannon. Now, Steve Bannon is currently avoiding testifying before the Congress. He's about to get held in contempt, but that didn't stop him from going on this broadcast or going in this interview rather and saying that, well, Donald Trump's about to get 50% of black men. Let's take a listen in.
We got a long, tough fight ahead of us, and we're going to have victories, we're going to have defeats, but it's very simple. We're going to win a sweeping victory in 2022, 50, 60, 70 seats, and then we've got to run the country like the people expect. Remember, 2/3 of the people back our policies. Look at the Rio Grande Valley. They call it thing. We get this is a declining power thing. It's all this white crazy people. No. The Hispanic community, the blue-collar Hispanic community. Just look down the Rio Grande Valley. Nancy Pelosi had 9 Democrats that stood up to her and said, "Hey, we don't know. This thing's kind of crazy." 3 of them are from counties that connect in the Rio Grande Valley. Why? Donald Trump's getting, 40, 50, 60% of the vote down there. Vila, the old guy's retired. They understand, particularly now with the invasion. That's Trump country, South Texas. You look at the votes he picked up in LA County and the Bronx. The Hispanic community, Hispanic working class community understands unlimited immigration does not work for them. African American males are also another central part of our coalition. And you wait. We're going to get 50% of that vote in 2022. 50%. And once we do that, we have a governing coalition that's right in front of us, right there in front of us, that can
So I
govern
was
for
off a
100
little bit.
years.
I thought he was saying by 2024. He says by 2022. So, James, one of us, it ain't me, bro.
It's going to be Ben, Rebecca. It ain't going to be
It's going to be Ben. It's going to be Ben.
It's going to be Ben.
It's Ben. It's the man. Listen, let me say this.
I don't get no kind of respect,
I love that black women haven't entered this chat or this conversation because we know it wouldn't be a black woman in this conversation, especially not for Steve Bannon. However, what we saw, like what we usually see, I know that Candace Owens seems to be one of the highlighted black people on this side of the conversation with Steve Bannon. You know, people that we would believe who would vote for Steve Bannon or Trump in 2024, right? But we don't see a lot of the Candaces as much as on January 6th, when we looked into that crowd. Who did we see? We saw a lot of brothers in there. I'm just trying to say, I'm just kidding. But when it comes to black women,
I ain't seen that. I saw one black man come on, y'all not going, come on.
Man, I saw 5.
5 out of 10,000.
5, and all 5 of their ass still in jail too. But
in jail right now. Got the teeth knocked out. Go ahead.
Five was a little too much. I was a little too much. But no,
I concur. I agree.
Seriously though, I don't know where they're getting their numbers from. I don't believe for 1 second, but I'm always surprised too. But I don't like when they put, and especially when they single out black men or just black women in these types of conversations. So that all jokes aside, I don't like when the right does that. They will always
grab? Where did they get these stats? Who did they talk to even get these numbers? Right? Is it just the 10 people over there on Mar-a-Lago? Is it the people from the richer parts of New York, or is it the people who are still in business with Donald Trump, who look like us? Who did you talk to? Who did you speak with? Where did these numbers come from? And you can't trust the Trump administration or people who support him. Why? Why do I say this? Because if we look at how many times the Trump administration had lied, remember there was a whole thing about how many times this man has lied and his administration. And we know Steve Bannon can't be trusted. So why would we even believe anything that he's saying or that administration? And why would we make it something other than why would we put them in the conversation when it comes to Black people and our voting? They're the ones taking it away from us. But go ahead, Bubba. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say somebody in the chat room said it right, and I'm like, even if he would do this, I'm still not going to vote for this man because I remember what happened the last term. So hell no. Yeah. But if he promised Rep 1, that's probably about the only way that he gonna get them that black vote. But even still, I said, I remember how he was in the office. I'm good. I'm good on that. There ain't a damn thing you can do or say. I mean, now if you give me about $1 million, $2-3 million, then you might have a conversation. But then ain't nothing you can do that's gonna make me change my mind, dude. I don't want your ass back in that office at all.
Shoot, you said a conversation.
Well, $3 million, he could have a conversation with me. Yes. $3 million, I have a conversation. Yes.
Hello, tonight. What's up?
And then I'm going to be as
Benjamin Dixon.
Yeah, what up?
Listen, we flipping money right here. Are you on that vote? Okay.
We about to flip votes too. What's up? What's the?
Yeah.
Oh, we flipping them around here. You want that vote? We're gonna take the money and we're gonna do something else with it. I mean, it's a lot of people in politics who do that. I mean, Kamala Harris got the seat and they ain't done nothing since. Ain't done nothing since. She flipped it on us.
Damn.
She flipped it on its head for us. They ain't nothing I ain't seen.
I was gonna go after Joe Biden
and Joe Biden, but listen,
for the exact same thing.
And Joe, everybody can get it in this particular administration right now. Because do you recall Benjamin P. Dixon? Do you recall when they were out there and they were giving all of this and that, and we weren't even trying to vote for them people, but we said, listen, we got to make sure that people are out voting because we do believe that the vote is very important. We do believe that the vote is very important. We were rallying around it, even though we weren't for it. We had to make sure that there would not be a Trump, 2021. We wanted to make sure that it wouldn't be a Trump 2020. So we made sure of that. And we thought, I didn't suspect because I was saying,
Everybody was giving them a side eye. Everybody gave Joe Biden a side eye to the polls so that we can get rid of the fascist in chief.
And that's the thing. I made sure that I gave them both the side eye because I did not want us to focus on her just being Black. And I think that that's what we did. Chucks, Blackness, HBCUs, what we can do for the Black community, how much money we're going to give to those schools, how much money we're going to put back into Black communities. And now we're looking at, we about a year in, baby. And we
got no more of that stimulus money.
We have not a thing. We don't really have much to show. And if you guys want to say, she did this. And this is the thing. When we're having this conversation.
Her approval rating don't say, no, people agree with you, Rebecca. I think her approval rating is like 26%.
But I'm going to talk about this real quick. When you go to the Twitters, and I saw this morning, yesterday was the anniversary of, I think, oh my God, we did it, Joe. We did it. You're going to be the next president of the United States. That conversation, the we did it, Joe situation. When I look back on that day and I look at that moment, it was like, I already knew this woman ain't showing up. She ain't showing up. She's not going to show up for us. And I didn't expect it to be in this way where she literally disappears. But when I look back on that day, I'm like, dang, the people in the comment section, and they were more of those, because we have those far rights, you know, those radicals, whatever you want to call them, the alt-rights. Oh, there's a whole bunch of names for them. But even in the left side of things, and the people who call themselves progressive side of things, there are people who choose to ignore the fact that this lady is missing. They're saying, oh, this is the best day of our life, the best thing that could ever happen to us. And they don't look like us. There was a time, maybe about 5 months ago, there were a group of them who looked just like me, Black women who were online defending Kamala Harris because she's a Black woman. I am rooting for everybody Black, but I'm also not against
holding somebody
calling things out, calling people out, calling a thing
accountable.
I don't care if you're a Black woman, white woman. I don't care. I don't care if you're a Kamala or a Karen. You're missing. You're not doing the job, and we're going to call it out because we put you in position for a reason, and you're not delivering.
For such a time as this, Sister Kamala. I mean, my God, today, sister, you got some HBCU, and see now I've been 26% approval rating. I'm in good standing. I can clown Kamala Harris at this point, or 28. I'm sorry, James, 28%.
Yeah, 28.
The odds are in my favor that people are going to agree with me when I say what I got to say. Kamala. Baby, you're going to follow these white folks, that white president, into political oblivion. If you don't stand up and do something with whatever power that you have. Now, I do want to give one caveat before I finish. The office of the vice presidency is generally trash in general. Like Dick Cheney probably is the best example of what you can get done as a vice president. So there's not a whole lot technically that Kamala could do except for come out and be who she claimed she was in the first place. Just come out and talk to the folks. We can't even hear from you. That's why you got 28%.
And I'm gonna say this, even Mike Pence ass was doing more than Kamala was doing, and Mike Pence was the dumbass. And his ass was out everywhere on everybody's news station doing all kinds of
fly on his head.
Listen, she done shape-shifted on us. And because during the campaign, I ain't never seen somebody so Black. I never see somebody so Black. All of a sudden, she done came in. And I used to think that she was Black and white, but all of a sudden, and she was like, I think it was the Jamaican background or whatever. She was talking about, me having the Caribbean and me being Black and having my, all of this good stuff. And all of a sudden, as an Asian woman, I have no issues with that. Right. But my thing is, who are you? Do you know who you are? You didn't even campaign on that. You used and abused.
But more specifically, Rebecca, what you gonna do for us, Black folks, the Black side of your family?
But no, that's the thing. She campaigned on that, Ben.
Yeah, she did.
She campaigned on that. But she made sure that when she chose a certain side, and my thing is because you said that you were going to be for all people, and we are at the bottom of that list. We are the most marginalized group of people. We are at the deep trenches, the bottom. We're not even considered human to this day. We still get paid the lowest pennies to the dollar. Okay. In the workspace. Come on, sis, where you at? You went to Howard U. What are we saying? What are we saying anything about? What's happening? There's so many issues that have come across your desk, across this nation, and you ain't done nothing. I got a problem with that. And the reason I got a problem with that is because you and Joe Biden coerced us. And y'all can fight me in the chat if y'all want to. Y'all could fight me in the chat if y'all want to. Listen, I woke up, didn't do my hair. I'm ready.
Chose violence.
You and Kamala and Joe Biden coerced us, if I'm saying that word correctly. They literally, because I know Ben is over there like,
you got it. You got a word in you. Go preach.
But they don't.
Hey, y'all
no, wait. Tunde. What's up?
Well, I was just gonna say, y'all ever start saying a word and then you just look at everybody else.
It sounds wrong.
Did I say that right? That's what Rebecca did.
It sounds completely wrong. I'm like, is that a word?
Rebecca, I don't care how you said the word. You were getting ready to say a word, sis. Say what you were about to say.
So they coerced us to vote for them. And the fact that Joe Biden thought that bringing in a person of color, because we got to call her a person of color since she, she's a shapeshifter. But him bringing in a person of color, but knowing because if she ran off of black policies that would push the black agenda positively, if she did that, if it came from her mouth and not his, it would garner all of our votes. And that's what happened, right? But yet they sat there. They got in. We put them in. We put them in C, honey. We ain't seen them since.
We fell for the banana tailpipe.
Ooh, hey, bro, I got two people. Let me add two
All
people.
we see is TikToks of Joe Biden wearing his shades, his Ray-Bans, and that's what we see. And with Kamala,
we're supposed to be okay with that, Rebecca. We supposed to be go off Queen, go off, Joe, the TikToks.
Yes.
You know what?
Yes, 1.5 inch. Yes, 1.5 inch heels. Give us life. Yes, marriage goals. It's Kamala's anniversary with her husband. I ain't never see them. They blasted that anniversary. Well, it's an anniversary. We're coming up on an anniversary from the day that we voted. Where are you?
Damn.
Where are you? We have nothing to celebrate.
Damn, Rebecca.
Why
you do the people like that? I ain't do nothing to that dog.
We thought Joe Biden was going to give us what he gave when he was in office with Obama, how they was cool and everything else. No, bruh.
We're over it, though. He's trying to give that. He's trying to give that vibe. We're over that. And I have to tell people so many times in the last what was it? The town hall that I was speaking.
We see you, girl.
the town hall that I was speaking in. I don't see you, David. I'm sorry, but I will see you soon. In the town hall that I was speaking in, I got everybody together because they were all like, Joe Biden. And these were the people that were running locally. And I was like, oh, Joe Biden. Not Joe Biden. It was Kamala Harris being the black ma'am. We're not doing that anymore. We did that with Barack Obama. It was good then. We're talking, that was way. I was a little thing in college.
Was a whole lifetime ago.
I was fresh in college. And this is the blackest thing that we've ever had see the White House. So we're over that now. Now we're saying, even if you are black, we must hold you accountable. And this was the thing. Get them in the White House, hold them accountable. My God, today. We thought. Then people said, hold us accountable. We're already seated. We don't know you. We don't know you.
Nothing you goddamn say.
We don't know
what?
you.
I want to flip it just a little before we go to the next conversation, because I kind of, Kamala, aren't you tired of working for that mediocre white man? Because the people need something. I don't think we're going to get it from Joe. And your approval rating is 20. It's 28%. Her approval rating is 28%. She literally has nothing to lose. Nothing. Because there's no political career for a vice president who goes out of office with 28%. James, that's all I got, man. Rebecca,
man,
what y'all got?
Put all my coins in Maxine Waters. Maxine just need to go ahead and do something. I don't trust nobody else. Maybe Nancy. No, not even Nancy.
Nah.
So you got Nancy Pelosi and you got Maxine Waters. They have tried to turn us against Maxine every day. Let me tell you something. Maxine comes, she shows up, she wakes up, she's been holding this seat, and I don't feel like there are things that she does that I don't like either. But there are more things that I can say, wow, she said that, she stood up for that. It's not even, we got people like Cori Bush who has found a place there that back in the day would have never had that position. That's and there are things that she may do that I may not be fond of, but there are so many other things that I see her doing for our people. It's working. It's moving. She is what the nation needs. These are the type of people that we need in these spaces. Why I say? Because I said Cori Bush would have never got this seat ever if this was even 5 years ago. Like, she would have never gotten the seat. Kamala Harris, if this was 5 years ago, she would have never got this seat. But we're in times where it's not just because you're black. Where's the work? What else are you doing? Because we can't say, and that's what I had to say for the local officials here. It can't be because you're black at the table. You can be black at the table and don't mind none of the black business.
Girl, I almost start speaking in tongues. Would you say that again?
You can be black at the table and don't mind none of the black business.
My God.
It could be
Put that on a t-shirt.
Literally, you are moving the agenda of what the same agenda, and that's systemic, and that upholds white supremacy. It upholds white values. It only protects white people or people with money. That's not a lot of people. That's not.
Okay, hold on. Rebecca, I'm about to make you feel uncomfortable. James Demetrius, I don't even know your middle name. James Demetrius Williams.
We got to make up the middle name.
Bro, do you hear this? I don't know your middle name, but I'm just saying, do you hear this black woman on this screen with us today? My God.
Oh, and she woke up, chose violence. She got
She
the boys
chose.
and the shirt on. She chose all the violence today. She talking about West Coast violence from the 80s. That's
She
what
said,
she
"Come
chose.
over." She said, "Come over here to Death Row. Come over here to Death Row, bro."
She
The
told
South
that
got
about
something to say.
Okay.
The South got something to say.
Hey, the South got something to say.
So anyway, so does this stupid ass false prophet Shane Vaughn. We played half of the clip in the last segment. Rebecca, I just going to do a quick tee up. This is one of the guys you see on a regular basis. We have him on the show. He is saying that the founding fathers, those slave owners, are descendants of the children of Israel. Now, it's a long clip. We already played the first half. Tunde, if you can, cue it up in the middle. Let's start at the midway point, so it's only going to be a minute long at that point. But I really got a problem with these folks, man, because they're pulling a stunt on us, and I think we got to call them out in real time. Let's run that clip, Shane Vaughn and the Children of Israel founding fathers.
At one time, they were one nation. King Solomon died, King Jeroboam, King Rehoboam, there was a split.
Yep.
The Jews, the tribe of Judah, stayed in Jerusalem. They kept the Sabbath. That's why they're still identifiable. They kept the Sabbath. That kept them identifiable for these thousands of years. However, there was 10 tribes that went to the north with King Rehoboam in rebellion. Those tribes crossed over the Caucasian mountains. They were captivated by the Germans. Where they wound up at was the Great British Isles, because the prophecy was that they would go to the Isles of the Sea. And from there, we find those tribes making their way to the United States.
Every signer of our Declaration of Independence, every one of them were descendants of the tribes of Israel. America was a church before she was a nation.
America.
And how's your fool in gonna separate church from the state when we were born as a church?
America was a church before it was a nation. America didn't belong to y'all before it was the American nation. I just gotta leave that where it's at, baby. It's just stolen land, baby. It's stolen culture. It was not a church. Y'all need me in the back. Oh Lord.
So setting aside, I'm gonna ask Pastor Anthony Galloway to come on Friday to help me break this down in terms of the theology. I can tell you this: there's no record of the Northern Kingdom crossing over the Caucasus Mountains. Man, come on! Like anybody who's done one semester in theology school knows that that's bullshit from a false prophet.
You did Sunday school, that's
right. But here's the thing. We pretty much. We all dropouts of Sunday school at this point. But here's the gag. What they're trying to do is make America seem like it really is something straight from God. Because if you tie the founding fathers to the children of Israel, then in the minds of everybody who goes to church, then you're like, oh, America is so blessed. America itself comes from Abraham, Father Abraham. That's some pretty sadistic stuff when you consider our body count, how many people we killed this year alone. But I digress.
And don't forget the insurance fraud.
Call that number for prayer, baby. We should have called Club 36. We should call that number for prayer.
Club 36. Somebody call that number. Can we put it on?
Wait, David. What is this? What? Yes. Oh, I forgot all about this. So here's this false prophet. And now I'm going to put something on the screen. I want to be sure before we put this on the screen, I don't care about anyone's criminal background. unless you're continuing to be a con man to this day. Now, if you're a con man now, then yeah. Okay, I do care about your background. But if you're a person who has a criminal past and you've snatched some stuff to feed your kids, all right. But this
it's an asterisk
Shane,
next to that for me.
Well, if you try
criminal
to
background asterisk.
well, you know.
But I get it.
Yeah,
I love you. Mean it. There we go.
You know, I was just trying. Biggie was trying to feed his daughter.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shane Vaughn wasn't. Shane Vaughn, David, you got to set it up for me. Read this for me, or a portion of it. This is the man who's now telling you America was founded by children of Israel.
Yeah, so the article on screen is from 2010, and it goes into detail about how he was slapped with fines upwards or exceeding maybe $100,000 for fraud, for swiping money from annuity funds, from various different, schemes, if you will. And he was also known for apparently changing his appearance. I only really see a weight gain, to be honest, but the police are quoted in the article saying that he was known for being slick in this way of reinventing himself.
So folks should just really know who you guys are dealing with all these people who are going viral and all these people who are telling you that, I don't care about a person's criminal past, but a con man is a con man. And the Bible has been used plenty of times to con a whole lot of people. And here he is doing it again. So, that's all I got today, Rebecca.
Where is he from?
I don't even know.
Louisiana.
He gives me features of he has he's hiding, he's passing, he's white passing.
Yeah. I feel that.
He really does. And but anywho, he could, he's giving me Benny Hinn type of vibes, but wannabe. He does give me white passing though. Anyways, though,
I think I may have met one prophet, there was this guy who told me years ago I had a problem with my lower back, and he wasn't he didn't examine, he looked at me. He looked at me and said, "You have an issue with your lower back." I said, "Man, get the hell out of here." I didn't even know who this dude was. I said, "Get the hell out of here." Other than that, man, I'm running into more people like Shane Vaughn and, Creflo Dollar and all them folks. Move on.
Well, do you guys want to talk about Kanye or do you want to talk about Holly?
Oh, I don't have it.
I wanted to talk about Big Bird.
Oh, Big oh. I wish I had the content on it, but go for it.
Okay, so Sesame Street, Big Bird had tweeted out. This is from Sesame Street, and I'm not saying this to be funny. This is actually something that happened in the last few days, last couple of days. Big Bird had tweeted out from the Sesame Street account that he's been vaccinated. Right? You guys can go to Twitter and check that out. And Ted Cruz got so upset about it. He got so pissed about it that he was saying, and this is not only Ted Cruz, but he started the conversation on the socials on Twitter and was saying basically this is what's happening. This is what our America is coming to, basically just pissed. Now, not only did he tweet that out, it was other Republicans that joined together and other people that banded together to attack Big Bird from Sesame Street.
From Sesame Street.
There are people who are dying in this world, people hungry. We know Ted Cruz to have left Texas in the middle of a pandemic and ice freezing, a deathly ice freeze weather, and went over to Cancun with his daughters. We know this is the man that's saying there's a problem with. I'm not surprised, but the fact that he's leading the conversation. If you look in the comment section, regular schmegalers is mad. Karens and Kens are up in arms. They why would this happen, Mike? This is so terrible. It's just ridiculous. It's sweet. How does that there goes. Government propaganda for your 5-year-old. And this is what Big Bird tweeted out. He said, "I got the COVID-19 vaccine today. My wing is feeling a little sore, but it'll give my body an extra protective boost that keeps me and others healthy." This is what Big Bird tweeted out. He also said, Miss Erica R. Hill even said, "I've been getting vaccines since I was a little bird. I had no idea." And he's referring to a 1970s clip of Big Bird watching kids go get vaccinated for something else. And was promoting vaccinations even then. So this is Big Bird's history. This ain't nothing new. That little bird been getting vaccinated. But the thing is, it's not a real bird. 70s. It's not a real bird.
She said
it's
she
not
said Big
real.
Bird ain't new to this. Big Bird true to this.
Big Bird is true to this, but it's so sad that that something that is just trying to make kids who are probably afraid feel okay with getting it. And this is your parents' choice. This is the parents' choice, but to feel okay with getting it and not shame any other kid that they know, because like a grown folks is doing in the world, don't know how to act with each other, but not shame any folks that they know who have been vaccinated. This is a great teachable moment. Why not? Why not? Why not?
Somebody brought up something else important, that Ted Cruz follows Big Bird. That should be the end of the conversation, right?
Being mad. It was too much going on November on this particular date, November 6th. There was too much going on. It's the anniversary of us putting them people, voting them people. It's just too much.
Saving democracy.
It's just whack.
Oh damn!
Nobody
it really is, huh?
We fighting all kinds of things wrong. It's just like the wrong fights, the wrong people being checked on social media. This conversation has been going for days. Like we are on.
Speaking of, guess who I talked to at great lengths last night? Dr. Carl Mack. And he
Mr. Missing in Action.
You talk about conversations that are heating up on social media. He's got some conversations he wants to bring as soon as he can get back into action. But he sends his regards to everyone.
Where he at?
Right.
He's still doing daddy stuff, y'all. He it's an adjustment. He's going through an adjustment, but he's doing fine. And he actually, I don't know if he wants me to tell this, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. He hurt himself playing football. With some young kids, he a young Spartan, he an old Spartan.
Dr. Mack like that.
So that's what it is. He hurt himself playing football. Being talking about daddy stuff, he hurt himself playing football.
But so what is it, Ben? Is it football? Did he hurt himself? Did he hurt himself playing football? Did he have that? Is it daddy duties? Is it what are you saying, Ben? Because it's coming off as a lie.
It's a lie.
So the way my bank account is set up is, brother, the man is doing both, y'all. Anyway, so the reason I brought it up, two reasons. He sends his regards. Number one. Number two, Rebecca, you're talking about all the wrong people getting canceled, all the wrong people getting that heat. Everybody, you know what I mean? It's like it's like we're living in the upside down where the people. Yeah. So anyway, we were talking about that kind of at great lengths last night, and we're going to bring it to the show when he gets back in. That's all. Anyways.
Right, Rebecca.
Y'all are awkward this morning.
Listen, Dr. Carl Mack, you've been missing in action. We miss you. I hope you're watching. And if you are watching, we don't want to speak to you through Ben. We want to speak to you, okay? We love you,
Directly.
mean it. And whatever you got going on, just know that there will always be an extra box on this panel right now for you.
Okay.
That's right.
We always got a box for you.
We always got a box for you.
You mean you don't want to speak through Ben's avatar?
Or not?
No.
Thank you,
No.
David. Ben's avatar. Again, for the
Ben's
third
avatar.
day. You know what? I forgot. He was on camera earlier. I think he was just playing around. He just pulled that damn cord out the laptop.
Listen,
That's all
bro,
it was. But I
listen,
ain't gonna say nothing, Rebecca.
I feel like Ben be like, man, I done did the first half of this, man. Now it's time to just let my one strand of hair down. I am done. I am
Piece of
done.
hair I got left.
That one strand.
That one strand.
Up there.
Look, somebody said in the chat, we didn't forget about you, little Charlie Kirk.
The Charlie Kirk.
Speaking of,
What you got for
Ooh,
Charlie
good
Kirk, man?
segue.
What we got?
you wanted Charlie Kirk in conjunction with Holly yesterday. I don't know how you want to do that though.
Well, let me pause because I really enjoyed the Big Bird story. Rebecca, what else you got in your bag that you didn't send to get prepared?
I actually sent that in last night. Late last night, actually.
Where?
If you look inside the Slack, I don't know whose high pitched voice
No,
that
it's
was,
a great.
but if you look inside the Slack, you will see that I sent that story in last night. I had a late night, and so
David,
after
don't let her get you that, David.
listen.
We talked about your voice, bro.
Where?
So
I'm gonna keep using the high pitched voice. Where?
yeah, if you look in Slack, if you look in Slack, it's there. If you look in Slack, it's there.
David
It's there.
know he black. David
It's
is
there.
black. Cause let me tell you, cause when black folks got something, and they ask questions. What? That voice go up
It's
so
high.
high.
Hey,
It gives you a high tone. It gives you a high tone. Oh no, actually, white people do it too. They be like, I don't really.
No.
I think Rebecca meant to drop something, but I don't see anything in
I
Slack.
dropped it.
Wait a minute. No. This was all worth it. This was all work. Rebecca, how do you do it? Rebecca?
Well,
really, I can.
I don't know about that, James.
You get it?
Are we sure about that?
I know you said
Per my last email.
Wait a minute. Did y'all see the universe?
Not per my last email.
Wait,
child.
me and Babatunde said per my last email, literally at the same exact moment.
Let me see.
Inshallah. We're done. End scene. End scene.
Storm.
Yeah. Josh Hawley thinks you need to stop watching porn. No, dead ass. Run a clip.
No, he does.
David, it's not in there.
It's not in there.
Yeah.
Josh Hawley clip's not in there?
I know.
Okay. Josh Hawley thinks that you need to be a better man and not watch porn. Here we go.
What's a man to you? Paint a picture.
What's a man? Well, a man is a father, a man is a husband, a man is somebody who takes responsibility. As conservatives, we've got to call men back to responsibility. We've got to say that spending your time not working, and we have more and more men who are not working, spending your time on video games, spending your time watching porn online while doing nothing is not good for you, your family, or this country.
So a viewer's watching this and they're thinking, really? What the liberals are doing are going to push me to watch Pornhub more or play Donkey Kong more? Do you mean that literally?
Well, what I mean literally is that I think the liberal attack, the left-wing attack on manhood says to men, you're part of the problem. It says that your masculinity is inherently problematic. It's inherently oppressive.
Generally,
so here's the thing. He says
we got to put it on the record. We go ahead, Rebecca.
Okay, he said, look, I want the men to definitely have this conversation because he's speaking directly to you guys. But if men not working, men playing video games, and men watching porn is a direct attack on their masculinity. That's what he said. And it's he's basically speaking to this idea of the working American, the working white man. And the thing is, they will say this in public, but in private, they will have sex workers in hotel rooms. They will pay for abortion. They will be with the opposite sex, although claiming to be straight or whatever. And they're the ones who sit in front of the television all day playing video games, or they're the ones who hold on to these seats and not work. They're the ones who own these companies and don't do anything. So when I hear these conversations, especially coming from a pretty faced man like this. Like this man has he has a face. Like he has a face. Like
it's very punchable.
Well, that man did the punching gesture, but no, he has a good face, but it gives me, I do not work when I'm at home, for real. I play video games
a day in his life.
And I do constantly watch porn. He's giving me that. He's giving me that for sure. But who are me to judge? And who is this man to judge and say that is the situation? A lot of these things are working. In 2021, playing video games actually makes you money on the internet. And that's considered a job. Actually, porn can be a job.
Girl. My OnlyFans blowing the hell up, making money. Let me stop playing. No, it's not. I do that one. Yeah, be free.
Listen. I'll be on only.
Somebody who a man is. Got to get off somewhere.
Well, no, because Rebecca,
who a man is, because I do all these things and I still work hard and do all the shit that I need to do and get done every goddamn day. So you ain't gonna tell me that I can't watch my porn and play my video games, you butt sucker. Get the hell out of here. Get thee away from me. You Satan. Like a twink yourself. Be on there.
God damn, Tunde, you talk a lot.
Yeah.
Listen.
It is. No, it totally is.
Tunde, that last part, who did you compare? Because there is an overlap there. Say that last part again.
Yes, it's basically just the Jordan Peterson thing where basically you're just telling people to just do just normal stuff, clean your room,
like get up and make your bed,
your shirt, like it's like all right, and then people like idolize these people for saying very just basic things.
And so Rebecca, that ties directly to what you started off with. that this is talking directly to that, how you said it perfectly, and I can't rephrase it, but like that white male grievance, like he's speaking directly to his demographic, and he's using that same language. That ain't no revelation. Listen, if the best y'all got, if the best this square-jawed kin got from the Republican conservative white movement supremacy is to tell y'all dudes to stop watching porn. Yeah, no, white replacement theory, right, might be real. Maybe y'all do. Maybe they got a huge problem, because if getting up and making your bed is the best advice y'all can give right now, then y'all got some serious problems over there.
But Ben, the fact that you're just focusing on, you really got a problem with them telling y'all not to watch porn. That's an issue for you. But they also said people that are not. Look, did I say? I didn't even say. But they also said not work, and they also said those who are playing video games. Ben is like, I can't relate to another thing, but porn.
Listen,
but porn, you will not take that away from me.
I don't.
That's my escape. Goddamn it! If I'm gonna watch anything else, I'm gonna watch porn. I don't watch all the Pornhub and wait for Pornhub 2 to come out.
You done ran the whole thing out. You done ran. There's no more internet left for porn on us. We're all out of porn, so we do need another fresh base. I wasn't trying to be specific to the porn thing. It's like all the way around the board, but
he said
I want to say this though. Hang on. I want to say this.
You're all got him explaining now.
Listen, no, not at all. Let me tell you something. If it's a choice between us making, watching, selling, and distributing porn or going to war, come on, give me all the sex workers. Let's do. I ain't got no problem with that. Hell no. Let's put it out there and let's do it. I'm saying these monsters out here, the best they got is all this little juvenile stuff, which is stop playing video games. That's y'all master strategy to take over the world, to stop jacking off? Come, okay. Good luck. Good luck with that. Oh, and they don't want weed either. Run the clip. Charlie Kirk, Lil Charlie.
Oh, hell no. Now you...
Lil Charlie Kirk. Look, now you done said
because
something.
We live in an abundant society. We live in a place where you could have literally weed delivered to your front door. It's like, what? And somehow, oh, that's liberty. No, that's actually slavery.
I'm a very proud conservative, but so what would be the exact issue with full legalization of marijuana?
Everything from it's a false promise of liberty. First of all, it makes the places that you live unenjoyable for almost all people. Denver, Vegas, Los Angeles, San Francisco. When weed is legalized, it becomes a messier, dirtier, just objectively unpleasant place to live. Well, if we really believe in limited government, then why are we outlawing weed? This is a libertarian argument, right? We should make stances very clearly of what is virtuous and what is good. Now, do you want to have a conversation around locking somebody up for 20 years because they have weed? Like, that's a totally separate conversation. There are more young people going into the ICU that are using weed than ever before in Colorado and in Denver. As weed gets legalized, does crime go up? And the answer is yes. Crime does go up. I'm not trying to figure out the driving under the influence thing. I think it's this false sense of liberty where we as conservatives think like, yeah, we're going to be more free because we deregulate this one thing. I think weed is really bad for people. I think weed makes you lazier. I think that it makes you a less whole human being. Now, medically, maybe it could work.
Show me the proof, Saudi.
Because snorting crack cocaine is so much better. I will not. And that's the thing. His conversation is bringing up old stuff that's not true. We've already debunked that, my guy. And so many places are starting to decriminalize it, legalize it. And here's my thing. And that's so of course, we are so behind on the ball here in Atlanta, but places are starting to realize that it's not what you think it is. Getting up and driving drunk is more of an issue. Snorting a line before you get up and you talk about weed being an issue.
Come on, bro.
That is that's more of an issue. I need you to understand, taking fentanyl and all of that. It's an issue.
Hello.
You guys are discussing how this is happening, but I need you to get the numbers. And while you're getting the numbers, I also need you to talk about how something so petty could have somebody in jail while you were the leader, had a bus full of people on January 6th at that domestic terrorist attack over there at the Capitol. And you
30 buses.
80
30 buses.
I'm sorry, 80 buses.
80 buses, my God, today, tomorrow, and forevermore. You did that. You did it on January 6th, and they have yet to snatch you up after committing such a crime against your country. You talking about weed?
You talking about
so
weed?
funny. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh man, weed is good.
Weed is here from the earth. God put that here for us. Okay?
But even
It grows
if, and my
naturally.
thing, even if he would never know what to do, even with and you know they smoking weed out of white paper, you know, rolling it out of, you know that's how they doing it. But even if when it comes to weed, he would never. It's like you're talking about it. You're putting out a false information. You know, this video needs to be flagged for false information about weed and how people are going to ICU because of weed or whatever the case may be. When weed can actually be medicinal. Never heard of cocaine crack to be medicinal.
Rebecca, you killing me over here.
Crack is whack.
Can I insert one thing?
Y'all see what the name of the tour is? Exposing Critical Racism Tour?
Can I?
That's a
Well,
real
on the
thing.
racism part, can I insert one thing?
Go ahead, David. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know, Ben, you were tying this into the laziness and how it's not good for you, and it makes you, you know, incomplete and all that. What I heard, because this is the first time I heard this last night, was the dog whistles. Him tying in the beginning how weed makes your neighborhood dirty or messy. And
I bet you my neighborhood is cleaner than yours, Charlie Kirk.
Meanwhile, white people are the ones profiting as it gets legalized.
Come on, David.
Come on, man.
David.
Come on, man. Preach.
Today, let's
Thanks,
go.
or James. I'm just saying, like,
David.
like there's the laziness factor, but I heard that, like, while you know that his viewers are smoking weed, he's trying to make it look publicly like it's a black infused issue or black and brown infused issue that is bad for America and destroying America.
Let me tell you something.
David in the house today. David, you in the house today,
Damn.
David. You in the house
David
today.
chose violence today too.
David, what's your cash app? They need to send you an
pastor
offering.
in the house today. David is the guest white man pastor
Y'all
in the
need to
house
send this
today.
boy a love offering for that.
Come on, David. David and Tunde in the background. Yeah, I ain't know, but Tunde on it. He said, listen, I'm coming in. You know, Dwayne ain't here, but I'm part of the conversation too. And I like that. Y'all in the house today. Praise God.
Yeah, because I'm like,
y'all came to play today, boy.
Bro, Tunde said, I'm picking up right where he said, me and Dwayne, we're one and the same. I'm picking up right where he left off. Here's my opinion on the matter.
Yeah, I got to represent.
Okay.
I got to represent.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, you are. And you are.
All right, so David, what are our instructions for the after party, man? Are we keeping it live? Because I know we were doing a treat for the people because we've been gone for so long.
Rebecca, how you feel?
Yes, Rebecca, how do you feel? Well, I feel that, since tomorrow and Thursday I won't be here.
My God.
Then yeah,
Wait, did you say tomorrow?
We might as well not even have a show tomorrow.
Nah,
James
Ben,
is off
you're in
tomorrow.
a ride.
No. I may be able to do it, but it may be on location.
Y'all gonna have me here ranting for 2 hours straight. I'm gonna call for a whole revolution because ain't nobody.
I may be able to do it, but it may be on location. But I definitely won't be here on Thursday. I will be back on Friday morning with you guys, so we can definitely keep it live. We missed you, and we want to make sure that we get back our time, if it's okay with our Patreons, to share this next 30 minutes with everyone. If you guys can are okay with that, then I'm okay with that too. So
yeah.
Well, we appreciate our patrons. Patreon.com/like it or not and Patreon.com/the BPD show. We appreciate all of you. When is our next patron party before we get out of here? Does anybody
I think
have
it's
that?
this Friday if we go.
This Friday, right?
The Halloween party was 2 weeks ago that I missed.
I need one. I need a
2 weeks.
Yeah.
That was last weekend.
Well, that's how 2 weeks works.
Girl, that's 2 weeks ago.
I love every bit of y'all.
You know what that means, Rebecca, right?
Well, I'm getting old.
You got to show up.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm too old. I'll be sleeping on that day.
She was at the other one. She did show up to the last one.
I know, and I can't believe I missed it.
Yeah. It was great. It was a good
I wish it was
one.
recorded, but I wasn't there to record, and I don't think
I recorded as much as I could, but my internet was active.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Oh, I got to get the recording. I want to watch
did.
that one.
I recorded it.
You ended up picking it up, James. That's right. That's right.
I want to watch it. All right. We do have two things in the after party. James, you had one that I couldn't download because the account was private, but I think you'll enjoy the two. One is from Rebecca, and one is something.
Y'all want to go straight to it, or
unrelated.
y'all want to take a music break like we normally do? It's totally up to y'all. James?
Let's take a music break. I'm hungry.
Take a music break.
Let's take
You
a
say
music
you
break.
hungry,
Let's take a-
Rebecca? You go ahead.
I knew it. Rebecca wants to get food.
Rebecca says she got to get breakfast.
I'm hungry.
She got to feed the soul. All right. So
I'm
let's
about
take a
to
break.
say
When we come
what?
back,
'Cause ain't no baby either.
Bye. Dave says, "Shut up. Let's talk."
I have to talk the music. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. We got coming up next. I'm liking it. Chuck Beasley, you stupid. Chuck said Becca shows up at the party for 5 minutes, then sachets out the room. These are big facts. And y'all stay tuned, all right? We got one coming up next. If you have not already, patreon.com/the BPD. So y'all go ahead and join and get us free.
I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now.
Jules C, how you doing, Jules? I appreciate you. Nat M is in the building too. What's going on, Nat M? Nat A, I know you somewhere out there. Cyber Sweetheart, we have missed you back and welcome back, sister.
Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time. It's my time. It's my time to run it out. It's your time. Oh, cheers to all the haters, 'cause you proved to me that rising to the top was my destiny. And you can see whatever from behind me, but I'm still fly. I'm still fly.
Shay is probably be trying to talk over this damn music.
I'm still fly.
Good morning, Shay. Esther, what's going on? Ricky Johnson, what's going on?
It can all be words. I could be a hater like you. Oh, cause to make the man, but that boy that's gonna kill you from the inside out. It's time to say
There she
we
go.
can
Nat
just
A,
now
where
say
you
we
go,
can
sister?
just
There you
now. I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time. It's my time to ride it. I'm young. I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now.
I got Vern right in there, work, David.
It's my time. It's my time. It's my time to ride it out. It's your time. Oh, if you're
David, you a hater.
if you're on a train, say yeah. If you gotta walk, say yeah. Everybody's gonna
Tuesday, welcome back to the screen, Ben and Rebecca on, because they talk about FAMU. I don't want to hear it. Let me stop playing.
So put your fist up in the air. I'm young. I'm free.
Hey man, real quick, while they come back, hey man, when I tell y'all I'm good, I'm so good at sleeping, I do it with my eyes closed.
You guys, why did I look over at Ben? Because usually Ben, when Ben laughs, I'm like, ha ha ha, I know when to laugh. But I looked over and I realized that's a damn feet picture. Damn it. I really was waiting for that picture to move. Anyways,
I'm thinking of a technology though.
It was really creepy yesterday when Ben was the only one on screen.
Oh, it was totally creepy, and then it had that yellow
Right.
background. I'm like, Jesus, like Highway to Heaven or something. Jeez.
Ben, you were saying you have something like a technology for that. Leave it to Facebook. We're gonna be in like a third dimension, I guess, at some point with the meta.
What's the name of that movie? Ready Player One. It's a Ready Player One situation. That's what I feel that this.
It's giving me Black Mirror.
Girl,
it's giving me
yes.
first season episode 2, Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm. With your boy,
Yes.
with your boy from
Falcon.
Get Out.
I forgot his name.
Oh, wait a
Andrew
minute.
Mackie.
Which episode? Which episode are you talking about, Rebecca?
I'm talking about a vintage episode when the man was in the room. And
30 million units. Or
yes,
something like that.
and then there was like a virtual
Oh, okay.
world on the outside.
And they playing the game. Yeah.
Ooh.
I thought
Exactly
you
what
was
it
talking about
gives
the first one where he was like playing the fighting game, and then
I remember that one as well. And that one,
that was
that was a turn of events that I didn't see coming.
I did not see coming. I'm like, this is just too much.
It's too much. It was too much for me. I said, "Oh my god!"
What? Well, I thought it was a good episode.
So you got Candyman, and then
that man was fine
cool.
though. That was Candyman. Yes, it was.
That was Candyman. Yeah,
it was Candyman.
Yes, it was.
Just got to put the hoodie on him. You got to put the Scully. You got to put the beanie on him.
Hey, when I
he
tell
was
you Black
fine.
Mirror,
I said, I don't really. And it made me feel some type of way because I felt like we was in love, me and Candyman. And then when he did all that, I was like, dang, you should have just picked the side so I could pick who I was gonna like on the show. But I don't know. And then what? Nicole Bahari, the wife in that one, she is a baddie too.
She was a great.
I was like,
she is.
But there was a lot of things that they needed to go sit on somebody's couch about. And they did not.
They did not.
Yeah.
They did not.
They played video games.
They just worked it out and said, okay, you got your one time a year. But it's just like, okay, you know what? Never mind. Not even gonna go there.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Look, wow.
Josh
Okay,
Hawley. Hey, look, Josh Hawley was punching the air when he was watching that episode.
He was.
Mad.
No, he was Madison Cawthorn. Madison Cawthorn beating up the tree. I saw the dude and damn, I done walked myself into a freight train with this one. God damn it.
Okay, so you want to start off with something since it's the after show. We want to start off with some major news coming out of Florida A&M University, sitting on the highest of 7 hills in Tallahassee. Again, Tallahassee, Florida. The best football. Listen, right now, FAMU.
Tallahassee yet?
I'm so sorry, Ben and James.
Right now, it's cute, Ben, but just shh for a second. It's rude. FAMU football has the best. And I'm gonna say it like Fantasia. The best.
No, I don't get no.
FAMU football has the best record in the state of Florida. I'm talking about. This was posted maybe like last week, and to this day, they still have the best record. For football.
At least this one is wrong though, because we won a game last week, so it's Bethune-Cookman 1-8 and not 0-8 like you say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I told you this is what I dropped this when it was fresh and new. But even with your one win at Bethune-Cookman, there is still the best record coming out of Tallahassee, Florida, not from across the train tracks in Florida State. It's coming from right there, Florida A&M University. Yeah. And this is why. And this is why. No, but it's funny because guys, when the other schools and have the best record in the state, it's all over everywhere. It's on ESPN. It's here. It's there. They're talking about it. But we need that same treatment. And this is why I know, FAMU go so hard on everything. You know us. We extra, we do whatever. But right now we're going hard because first of all, this is a rare occasion. Like I said, I don't know what prayer Coach Simmons did on that day when he was on the field and he was praying. I don't know what prayer he did, but it was something stronger than Sierra's prayer because FAMU to be winning, like they are, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. But I give you that. But honestly, it's just it's interesting to see that because it's a black school, that it doesn't get the same love for having the best record. Usually I'll see that a lot on different sports networks, on different sports social media pages and things like that. But because it's Florida A&M and it's like whatever, but it's the best football record in the state of Florida. We're talking about all through the colleges. So, shout out to Florida A&M. I graduated from that school. I did not only just go there, I graduated from that school. That's my school. That's mine. So shout out to FAMU.
Rebecca,
shout out to
you know?
I know one y'all.
Yeah, because we ain't got there yet.
Yeah, but you know what's funny?
Okay, because we still gonna beat that ass.
See, your prayer here. I don't care what prayer your coach prayed.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him he better bring some anointing oil when he comes to the classic.
Okay. Ben, it's like, Ben, I I just want to let you know.
I feel the spirit. I feel the spirit moving. The spirit is
Yeah.
telling me that prayer, that prayer that he prayed to get y'all.
I am sorry for BCU. I'm sorry for BCU.
2 weeks too.
Yeah, I'm sorry for BCU that Ben spoke over y'all. But you know what I will say. Who was it?
I see who they lost.
Who?
Jackson State.
Okay, I remember this one.
They actually did a good game at Jackson State. They only lost by 1 point, but
Who was
Dion
the other
got
one?
the boys at Jackson State looking damn good. South Florida.
Okay. Okay. But Jackson State, I do remember us losing at 1 point, and we wasn't even mad. Let me tell you something. Why was there a celebration after losing after 1 point? Everybody was in all the FAMU pages online, and we're like, we only lost to 1. That's crazy. But to be happy about that, y'all got to understand, we not a good team. We haven't been a good team. And we have grown.
Understand, Jackson State right now is nationally ranked right now. They are like the number 1 team in even Division I schools. So they out there making moves. So for FAM to have only lost by 1 point, that says a whole damn lot. You know, I give
and
credit
for FAM to be in the conversation, because trust me, I've walked the campus. You know, we run late to the football games. Okay, we outside and we're tailgating. We like, they playing. All right, we want something to eat. We'll be back. That's how it is. But I will say right now, for us to rally around those football players and and have this record, we're going to be the ones. If nobody else is going to do it for us, we're going to be the ones to do it for ourselves. So, shout out to Florida A&M. I love you guys so much.
Shout out to Florida A&M. No matter how much hell we give each other, there ain't no love like HBCU love.
Yeah.
That's right. That's real. And they whooped our ass 42-12. Jackson State did, so.
Jesus. Wait. No, let me run some numbers. How bad did we what was the score for FAMU in Jackson State? How bad did they get beat?
It was only 7-6.
By 1 point, you said 1 point?
7-6.
We about to get our ass.
One touchdown a piece. So
we about to get our ass beat on the football field, but not during halftime. Not during halftime.
We're gonna win classic. They ain't won classic in I don't know how many years.
Bro,
I ain't gonna give it to them this year.
That means FAMU got I don't know nothing else about FAMU, but they got a hell of a defensive line. I tell you that much.
And I will say, and I know we talking sports ball, y'all not used to this, but damn it, we're gonna talk it today. I will say that FAMU has won like all of their games of like over 20 points or more. All their games.
And their loss was on a man. Listen, shout out to the pride of Bethune-Cookman. I'm looking forward to the halftime show because I do agree, Rebecca. I think that prayer we about to get our ass beat.
It's gonna
God ain't on our. We ain't gonna get our. God ain't on our side on this one.
Man, especially we ain't been traveling nowhere. We ain't did nothing. So I don't know. They
But
gonna have
the band.
halftime show gonna be out the chain. The band be out the chain. But football, just let it go.
Yeah.
I can listen to you guys talk and give FAMU love all day, but we only have about 15 more minutes left, and I want to see what the next clip is.
Oh, dang! I thought that was the end of the show. All right, what's next?
Okay.
So Bezos and his girlfriend met Leonardo DiCaprio at some art function, and Bezos kind of got played.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't really get played. Let me tell you. I'll explain in a second. So if we look at closely in that footage, what we see is a woman who may be with a man because of, ching ching and not ding a ling. And so when we're looking at this video, what we really see is her just infatuated, of course, with Leonardo DiCaprio. When we see him, if I would have seen him, I would have been like, what's that, Leo? Like, that's all of us. That's everyone.
I would have fanned out.
Included. But I will say at the same time, though, just because a man got money, and if he ain't attractive, he ain't attractive. That's just what it just is what it is. And if we see an attractive man, like if you know what you're with this woman for.
Attraction, attractive is subjective and relative because Biggie had all of the beautiful women. You know what I mean? So, attractive is relative.
But to me, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But Benjamin P. Dixon, if we if we look at this right here, come on, Ben. I don't want to say Caillou, but it's just not giving.
Why'd you do that from that point?
It is giving Caillou. I'm Caillou.
Man, there's nobody on TV I hate more than Caillou.
Caillou was a terrible kid, but I just want to say
badass.
It almost looks like she wasn't. I mean, he doesn't really care. When you a man with money, you can get anything that you want. So
but this young woman, whoever, I don't know her age.
She's not young. First of all, her boob job tells me she's not young.
Okay, I don't
her
see the
lip
video
job
yet.
tells me she's not young.
I think she's 47.
All right, so I'm going off of what you guys are telling me. So okay, so she sounds like she belongs on like the Real Housewives of like Beverly Hills. Like, you ever seen the previews for these shows and they come on there looking like monsters? They come with their lips and stuff look kind of monstrous. But anyway, God,
what's that movie?
Now I don't remember the point.
She's gonna be, Leonardo, you are so handsome.
What's the movie called? One night when the man sold his wife to sleep with her. That's what it looked like, one of them kind of situations.
Indecent Proposal.
Indecent Proposal. Even Jeff, like he into it, like, yeah, maybe later you can just bang her out real quick. I'm just sorry.
But why? Okay, and I also want to point out, if we play it again, play that Be Real again. It's Leonardo being like, "Girl, if you don't get up off me,"
yes, I love that part.
No, sweetie,
good job,
sweetie. I don't know. Aren't you with Jeff? Aren't you with Jeff?
No.
He said, "Not today, Satan."
Where's my security? Hold on. Is this like
you're not about?
He said, "Wait, no." He ran the numbers. He ran the numbers, y'all. He did the math because I believe that this is the woman that Jeff Bezos got a divorce over, and he realized Jeff Bezos lost a couple of $1 billion over that woman. So he's like, "Nah, I'm good."
No, he looked at her face and said, "Jeff."
God damn, Rebecca, you're
Jeff.
Rebecca, you cold blooded.
Oh no, what's
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You just did that too, Nate. Yes, definitely. This is exactly
how
what
many billions did he end up getting? How many billions did he give his wife in the divorce?
You played yourself for this. You get half. And let me just say, it's funny because when these men get beside themselves, it's getting personal. When these men get beside themselves and they start feeling real good about themselves, and all that stuff, and they no longer need their wife anymore because they want something that is, it meets the fast lifestyle, right? The whole thing. I need a young little thing or whatever the case may be, something with the big booty, big titties, big whatever. Now you're looking crazy because she'll leave you for somebody else. She'll take your money too. All you got to do is, especially with the richest man right now in this world, all you got to do is sleep with him, tell him you need a little bit of money for something. Girl, take that money and go. That's all she needs is a little bit of money, and she'll go be with the next man. That's just it. That's just what it is. Whatever you do to people will come back to you tenfold.
Yes. Well, it's the way how he shooed her off at the end for me. He says, "You can back the fuck up now." Excuse me.
Because he knows better. Okay. He knows exactly what Rebecca talking about. If you don't get your
scandalous, trampy, get
if you don't get your Botox infested, fake booby ass.
Can y'all? Who is doing size Z titties in 2021?
My God, today.
You're going to the doctor and telling them,
you know what?
Give me the Baywatch specials.
We are going to do
the basketballs.
All right.
Big.
Okay, listen. I'm going to propose something here right now today. I swear on everything. We're going to set it up. We're going to plan it. We'll have a meeting about it, but it just came to me. We got to have a completely uncut episode where like everybody, totally uncut, off the air, almost in person, because I need to hear Rebecca do some stand-up. Uncut.
I don't do stand up. Did you hear me? Did you hear my Samsung joke the other day? I'm not a stand up person.
No. There's a different. No. Don't. No. Just as a person who's been on stage and been so embarrassed that I hope the video never comes out. Don't go up there telling.
Damn video.
I hope I do find it because I'm gonna monetize the fuck out of that video. But anyway, I'm gonna set it up for the next 2 years and make everybody want it first. That said, we gotta do a uncut episode. I gotta get James. We got to, and then we need to use that to get more patrons. For all of you who are listening live right now, and you're not a patron, Patreon.com/like it or not. But we're going to set a goal there. How many patrons do we need, Rebecca, before you get up and go on stage and do a 30-minute set of just being you as your ridiculous self?
Oh my God, no. It's just for me.
She do it every day.
I say,
because
no, uncut, unfiltered. Save those stories.
She do it every day. Look.
No, but seriously though, if for us to have an uncut, I think we should definitely have an uncut. And for
or something, I don't know. We'll come up with it. We'll figure it out.
We'll reach a goal of $3,000, and that will assist and help us to be able to just get the day to come and relax and chill with you guys off of work, free, whatever the case may be.
Oh, I was saying patrons, not dollar amount. I was saying patron, like that. But yeah, either way it go.
I'm talking dollar. I'm talking if it ain't talking money, we ain't making sense over here.
Okay.
Listen, we're trying. Speaking of that, we are trying to be free. We're trying to get out of here. So we're not soliciting you guys. We're trying to work for money because that's what we want to do. Because so we can be here with you guys, for you guys, around you guys. I'm telling you guys, the sooner you free us, the more content you will get, the more stories you will get, the longer these episodes will be. The more together they will be, the more on time I will be. You see where I'm going with this? You guys will have me and I will be all yours. But in the same sense, we will be able to do the work that we have been doing and, be able to do just so much more. I really, really, really want this to be my end all be all. I want this to be Bubba's end all be all. This is our job. Yeah. This is what we do. And I love you guys for supporting us thus far. And I do want to meet a certain goal so that we can just say goodbye to corporate. So that we want that. We really do. At least for a year. So that in the meantime, we can continue to build as well. But, when we say this, it's not just because we want to be free. We want to be free so that we can continue to do the work on a bigger level.
Well, let me jump in there real quick, only because I hear you, Rebecca, and everything that you're saying is good. But let me just say it from my perspective.
Political OnlyFans.
Listen, and who said that
right,
shit?
Somebody on
Savage. I need to get up with Savage, sweetheart. I was so sleep in the last patron party. They had messaged me to wake me up, and then they had a whole ass meeting going on. I'm like, wait a minute, what's all this? Anyway, back to God damn it. Now I forgot my point. Forget about it. Moving on.
You were gonna say what I just said in a Benjamin Dixon way.
I'm stressed. Oh no. Y'all, this is the best this is the best 2 hours. This is the best 2 hours that you're going to get anywhere on the internet, especially in this time of morning. This is the best morning show. What Rebecca is doing impromptu because she's working another job. And she comes in here and gives y'all like magnificence. So when she says free Rebecca, goddamn right. Y'all have no idea what we're getting ready to do once we actually get properly funded. This is bootstrapped. When James is doing, James go and clocks in. So it is not a solicitation. It is, you are experiencing the greatest thing that this is only going to get better. So invest in it now. Say that you got in early.
Ben, somebody said you want Keebler fans.
Keebler fans?
Y'all better get off of Ben. Just because he ain't showing his face, do not mean he ain't gonna get y'all together. But
I'm about to be Krillin for real though, because today I'm gonna be able to do a split today. A real full ass split today. I'm gonna post.
Ben, you said a key thing there, Benjamin Dixon. You did say a key thing there. You said invest now. It's almost like when people are investing in those other things, like some people who invested in OnlyFans, some people who invested in the Facebook now becoming Meta. How much money is there? So, people are investing, but invest in something right. Invest in something that's going to help change for the better. Invest in something that wants to make you guys laugh, make you guys enjoy your day, but also give you politics, stuff that's current, right? Have a conversation, regular, just everyday stuff. You know what I mean? Start off with hard politics, get into a conversation with Benjamin Dixon, and end your day. We want to make sure that you're laughing, you're having a good time. We want to make sure you give you those vibes, and you can't get that anywhere else but right here on the Benjamin Dixon Show.
This is better than that. Send us.
I wouldn't say all that, Ben. It ain't
For those
better
of us
than
who
therapy, but
for those of us who can't afford
part of my
therapy,
therapy.
who did you say earlier? You said some people should have gone to get marriage counseling. Who was that we were talking about that should have went and got marriage counseling earlier?
I said sit on somebody's couch, and I was talking about the people on that show.
Yeah, they probably couldn't afford it. So there's a lot of people who can't afford therapy. And so they come here to laugh because in the meantime, until we get some healing, we're going to laugh. And I'm going to be real.
I love it. No, even when we get healing, we're going to continue to laugh. That laugh is going to have us in a consensual chokehold. That is going to have us. It's going to be from when our unhealed version. Yes, our unhealed versions and our healed versions of us will continue to laugh because we deserve to.
That's right. That's next level, Rebecca. We'd have to unpack that another day. Oh man! All right, that's all I got, folks. What time is it?
It is 10:28. We are 2 minutes before 10:30, and before we get out of here, I just want to let you guys know. I may or may not be here tomorrow. I'm sorry that I had to break that to you guys on air like that. But Thursdays are my day off, so I won't be here on Thursday. But I may or may not be here tomorrow. Being that I may
tomorrow my day off, Rebecca. Don't forget that.
I know, young man, and that's
y'all
why
gonna make me do a best of episode tomorrow.
I mean, no, but because I'm trying to move the timing. So if I can just make sure, we'll see. I probably may able to do it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll pull up if y'all send me lunch money today. DJ X3C, I'll
pull up. We've got Pascal coming on tomorrow too.
Oh, Pascal's coming on too.
Now I gotta come on.
Yeah.
Why you gotta come on?
Because he got to do the dad joke. Pascal is not permitted to come on this show without a dad joke.
Look, and I can't go on his show, and he come over here and not me go over there. No, I gotta go.
That's right.
I gotta come on now.
Oh, you gotta be at home. You gotta be at your own house. Yeah.
Let me see.
What
did Haley?
I'll try to get my camera. I'll try to get my camera fixed by tomorrow. Or I'll just be on some old raggedy regular webcam looking like 1998 internet. But okay,
I might be on my cell phone or a raggedy cam. It depends. I will let you guys know on tomorrow or on today before I get out of here. But I do love you guys. And we'll talk later. That's where I'm at with it. I want you guys to enjoy your Tuesday, Taco Tuesdays. If you guys want to send lunch money, you can. Bubba will be on the show. Send my bro some lunch money. And I love you guys so much. I'm out of here. That's all I got for y'all.
Same here, y'all. We will see y'all tomorrow. Give y'all a piece of a song anyway. Yeah. If it play, y'all hear it. Here you go.
Go and try your luck. Test me in again. We let it rain. Keep on starting.
Man, we thank y'all so much again for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed the show. Jordan Report, thank you again. Our guest Leon here, thank you so much again. David, Ben, everybody in the background. Tunde, Ginger Thang, Sister Rebecca, man. We appreciate y'all so much. We will definitely see y'all tomorrow. Before we get out of here, my mind is a powerful tool, and I use it to create my future. My mind is a powerful tool, and I use it to create my future. Y'all go be great, man. Have a great day, awesome day, and we will see y'all tomorrow.
If I say I need my money, then it's urgent. Yeah, they want me to quit. Yeah, they want me to shift. But as long as I'm alive.